The Nintendo Switch is a pretty damn good console. I know, somebody finally had to say it. You got great first-party games, arguably the most quality third-party games of any Nintendo console out there, and indie games up the wazoo. Holy cow, Switch is absolutely my indie game machine. It is perfect for those. Take one trip to the eShop and it's not really that hard to feel overwhelmed. Super simplistic in design for sure, but oh, so many quality games, just a few button presses and a payment confirmation screen away. All it's missing is some cool music. The Wii U did something better than the Switch, I'm just saying. Recent releases, coming soon, featured, all quality ways to spend your time. Great deals though, that's where things get a bit spicy. I love checking out the eShop on basically a weekly basis to see what they have on hand, and to check out the great deal section, you gotta admit, sometimes you can find some really good stuff for really cheap prices. I got Resident Evil 4 here, a portable version of a fantastic game for only 15 bucks. That's crazy. I needed a 5th copy of this game. Massive sales have been a thing for quite a while now, especially for PC gamers. I mean, oh my goodness, you people on Steam, you've had it good for a while now. But as a Nintendo fan, I am loving so much of what is getting these price cuts every few weeks. But some of you know where I'm going with this. Bouncy Bob. 2 words that strike fear in the heart of Switch fans everywhere. Sorta comes off as a mobile title that was shoddily ported over to the Switch, but the reason it has any form of notoriety in the first place is because it is regularly on sale for a whopping 10 stinkin' cents. Bad games sold for really cheap. That's practically a tagline for the great deal section of the eShop. There's so much good you can find on this service, but I gotta tell you, my morbid curiosity finally got the better of me. I just had to see the other side. The games featured in this video are going to be solely digital, as well as for the most part Switch exclusive, so only bandwidth space and a couple of Joy-Cons are strong enough to handle these bad boys. I know a lot of you guys want to see me talk about Garfield Kart Furious Racing, but it got a physical release, so it's disqualified. One day, but not today. A big thank you to everyone who offered suggestions on my Twitter a while back. Because of all of you, as well as some of my own research, I spent a whopping $100+ on some absolute filth. Due to the nature of some of these random sales, it is kinda hard to put an exact price on everything at the time you're watching this, but trust me, I dropped $150 on eShop credit, and more than 2/3 of that went to the titles in this video. I wouldn't lie to you here. This is too important of a topic to discuss. And then I bought Kirby Fighters 2 with some of the money that was left over. Now that's a good game. Listen, the Switch eShop has more great games on hand than any previous Nintendo digital store before it, but quality control was never really that company's strong suit. Here we have Jigsaw Masterpieces, which is probably a fine game, for only 9 cents right next to Resident Evil 4. Incredible. I know making a video game is hard, so my goal here isn't to crap on anybody's hopes and dreams, but once these products start asking for money to access them, they are ripe for criticism as far as I'm concerned. Although you can download Angry Bunnies for free, so I guess that nullifies any criticism I could give it if I go by my own rules. Yep, I got nothing at all to criticize here. My morbid curiosity just had to see some of the gold that's been under our noses this entire time. Hey, do you remember when Nintendo charged money for Mario Clock on the DSiWare store? And that was one of the good ones too. When looking through the eShop, there was one game in particular that really stuck out to me, the game that was kind of the influence for this entire video. It's the most expensive one in the entire list of games for this video, as well as potentially the most offensive. Fight of Gods, a god-themed fighting game. Okay. Oh boy, when the title screen is preceded with a warning, you know you really hit the jackpot. You see, it says the team has no intention of offending anyone, but if we watch the trailer right after this really dope Jesus reveal, you hype him up by saying he's back and he's cross. Oh my god. Literally. As for the game itself, I don't know, man. I'm not much of a fighting game guy, but it does function like one of them. You pick one of your favorite gods and do battle with other gods. How can I say no to my boy Santa here? I'm gonna have him destroying others with his reindeer army. I couldn't not do that. Oh, hey, look at that. We got Rudolph up in front too. That's an attention to detail that I can appreciate. Is it a solid fighting game with really good fighting mechanics? No. No, of course not. As a total goof, however, I will admit this has been a fun game to show off to some friends. And in the PC version, unlike the Switch version, there's actually online multiplayer. So if you want to lay the smack down with Mr. Claus with people from all across the globe, cause who hasn't had that thought, here you go. If there was online multiplayer in the Switch version, I may be singing a different tune, but sadly, that's where we are. Oh my god, he's back and he's crossed. That is a level of cleverness I didn't think was achievable up until now. Oh my goodness. Now when I read the title Croc's World, oh boy, I gotta tell you, did I ever get excited. This is more like it here. I loved Croc. Absolute PS1 classic. The sequel wasn't half bad either in my opinion. Oh yeah, Croc is back, baby. Oh, that ain't the right Croc. I guess calling this garbage wouldn't really be fair because it does work. That's about all I got. This is just the most bare bones 2D platformer you could ever imagine, ripping off Mario like that plumber never existed, and coming equipped with a pebble gun, much like real crocodiles do. The levels don't even have finishes, they just stop. There's only one song that plays on loop for the entire game. There are 30 levels of really basic platforming. No boss battles of any fashion, which to be fair, I guess this game having any form of combat is kind of hilarious. And only 25 minutes after getting past the title screen, alright, look at that. Game finished. Okay, I can't get back to the menu though, but I keep changing the background. That's kind of weird. Oh. Well, there's that. Amazingly enough, there are actually a handful of these games. This is so weird. There are 3 Croc's World games and we only got to Croc 2 on PS1. That's an insult. Similar to Bouncy Bob, this definitely seems like a prime example of a mobile game being thrown onto the Switch with barely any effort. That's not a practice that's inherently bad. I've played plenty of really basic platformers on the Switch and they can be enjoyable if they're fun. I know, that's a novel concept. But nah, if you got a hankering for a platformer that's crocodile themed, go and stick to the original Croc instead. Glad I finally got to say that out loud. Next up we have Nikki, also known as Nikki the Home Alone Golf Ball. Well, right off the bat, we already see some character customization. This is already looking way better than the last one.
Hi Nick, good to see you are finally awake. Now, let's get back to business.
Oh no, I take it all back. No other voice has ever instilled as much terror in no time flat like...
Nikki, let me give you some advice. Don't be curious.
So on paper, this isn't that terrible of an idea. You use some pseudo-standard golf controls in a platformer setting. I actually like that it's trying something new. Our goal is to make our way to a party where all of our friends are at, and naturally, it is a massive adventure to get there. And that quest to get to that party probably gave me the worst anxiety I have felt from a video game in a very long time. This gameplay style is so obviously not designed with fast-paced, precision-based platforming in mind, and sure enough, that's what we got.
Oh, I remember. Nikki, I remember.
And stupid old Microsoft Sam will not shut up, and that doesn't do the game any favors. After like 10 minutes of swinging myself around in the house mindlessly, we finally made it over to the roof, one step closer to getting to that party. Next up, we just gotta go across some electrical lines. No big deal. Did a golf ball just cause a bird to explode? You absolute maniacs, you can blow up birds in this game. They put them in your path and it's next to impossible to avoid them, so by design, you're supposed to blow them up. How'd you let this happen? Oh man, this part. Okay, so there's a handful of pipes, right? Where only one is the way to progression, and the others will send you way back in the level where you have to do really obnoxious platforming all over again, and the only way to figure out which pipe is correct is by trial and error. Did I mention this game gave me anxiety? But I can definitely say with enough perseverance, you too can make it to that party. It only took me 576 swings to get there, but I finally did it. Now let's put Nikki in Smash. Now I couldn't possibly pass over this next one. One of the most common suggestions for me to check out was piano. Seemed pretty self-explanatory. Oh, finally, a video game console that can teach me how to play piano. Oh yeah, forgot about that thing. Piano comes with a free play mode, so you can anything you wanty. Whoa, anything I wanty? I just want to let you know before we dive into this that normally they charge $10 for this. I really want that information out there real quick. Okay, we're into the game. We got two options here. We can play the piano or we can learn to play the piano. Okay, well, I'm not too good at it, so I may as well learn. Oh man, okay. I didn't know piano on Nintendo Switch had my jams. We got Happy Birthday to You. London Brig is falling down. Old MacDonald had a fram. Absolute classics. Oh man, and this key layout, this is giving me pain. How much did this cost again? Oh, that's right, $10. Yeah, money well spent, I guess. That's it. That's the whole $10 piece of software here. You can either play the piano mindlessly or have the game tell you which notes to press in a specific order without a rhythm to it, so the songs that you're trying to replicate doesn't sound right anyway. What is totally bizarre is the company that published this, Sabic, has way more eShop games than I ever could have anticipated. Holy cow. Well, I guess saying games is kind of pushing it, but I digress. There are too many to choose here. I had to go for one more, just to please my weird, morbid curiosity. Let's get Tennis Go. Because in the back of my mind, I would be playing Mario Tennis Aces on the same console and think, no, I want a bad tennis game. And if you're like me, then boy, this is the title for you. It's tennis. To the game's credit, this is normally $1 less than piano, so for only $9, you get to play singular games of tennis with a handful of different skin options, 0 unlockables. That's it. How does this company keep pumping these games out and charging so much for them and clearly getting away with it? It's because normally these games are a whole lot cheaper. These are the games that are on sale all the time. So by the time you're watching this, they may not be $9 or $10, but even for the $1 you might find them for. Yeah, absolutely not worth it. Sabic, more like these games make me sad. Ick, I got nothing. But if we're talking about Nintendo Switch eShop garbage, we can't forget about the granddaddy of them all, Vroom in the Night Sky, releasing all the way back on March 3rd, 2017 in Japan and Europe. That's right, everybody. This is a launch title. Vroom in the Night Sky became infamous right out of the gate, and honestly, I avoided it for so long as a result. Everyone said it was bad. Why would I give it a shot when there are so many better options? Now that I've finally given it a shot myself, yeah, I can see why. It's not good. Fly through the rings. There you go, that's the whole game. It's about as bare bones of a Superman 64 styled game as you could possibly imagine, but the dialogue that pops up every now and then, this is what I'm interested in. Let's see what they have to say here for the deep plot. I'll never lose. What are you saying? Is here a camel there? I've never seen here. Tut. Magical Girl is a comfortable job. Did you? There is only one tree. That's how it is. And people say this game is bad? I mean, come on, to nobody's surprise, the game is not fun. Absolutely not. Vroom in the Night Sky isn't fun to play in the slightest, but it also features some of the greatest dialogue I've ever seen in my life, so credit where credit's due. This was kinda worth the money. I've never been Fall Over. That's how it is. That's how it is. Another title that was released really early on that I thought was pretty dreadful was Woodle Tree Adventures. This is a great jumping noise for a platformer game. There's not even much to talk about here. It is simply a really boring and incredibly flawed 3D platformer. Having a more limited art style is fine, I guess. I mean, even having this Fall Guy looking chunk of wood is kinda cute, but fundamentally, this is just... Ooh. Oh, wait, okay, I like this guy. This guy's kinda cute, doing a little dance. Yeah, screw that guy. I'm sorry, sir, do you have indigestion? Attacking with your leaf doesn't feel good, the platforming and the weight of your character doesn't feel good, this one guy doesn't like being hit, and before I have a chance to grieve with him, something else kills me, and now I'm at the beginning of the stage. Fun. There's definitely something here, but oh man, this ain't it. But to my surprise, there's actually a sequel, Woodle Tree 2 Deluxe. Okay, well, I'm already way too far deep into this rabbit hole. Why wouldn't I try it out? Okay, so there's actual cutscenes in this one. That's kind of cool. They were practically non-existent in the first game, so that's a plus right off the bat. The life has been taken from all of these special trees, so you gotta go save them. Simple enough. Okay, first and foremost, Woodle is a lot chunkier now, so this sequel is starting off great. Is is this a proper hub world? We got shops with items to purchase with collectibles. What? That wasn't a thing before either. Wow, the game even controls so much better too. All of this platforming we got going on, and I'm able to handle it with ease. That's surprising. And this world is genuinely huge, and you can explore it at your own pace. What? So, as bizarre as this is gonna sound, Woodle 2, unlike the first game, takes a whole lot of inspiration from Zelda Breath of the Wild. Listen, as somebody who spent over $100 on the games for today's video, would I ever lie to you? I may come off as incredibly unstable, but I would never lie to you. You know how in the start of that game you can see the world below you and realize you can go anywhere? Well, artistic parallels do pop up in the most mysterious of places. You're definitely pushed in a main direction for sure. There's these pathways on the ground that constantly tell you where you need to go next, but there are multiple dungeons to explore with enemies and puzzles to conquer. You can kind of do them in any order you want, and there are collectibles around every corner, and there's no loading screens. This is crazy. How is this the same developer? The disparity between both Woodle games is incredible. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't gonna be a Game of the Year contender or anything like that, but I actually didn't want to put the controller down when I was playing it. As opposed to the first game where I wanted to chuck my controller through a wall. Look at this, you can get on your little leaf and skate. Good game. And you can also have the little guy hold a flower and wear a mask as a costume. Color me impressed, Woodle. You have redeemed yourself. My main objective with finding all of these bottom-of-the-barrel games was to show off some prime examples of really poor game design, as well as expose just how low the bar could potentially be to get some of these games on the Nintendo eShop. Plenty of these games definitely fit the bill, but for the most part, honestly, a lot of the garbage I found can just be summed up in 2 sentences. So it's time for a lightning round! Splat the Fruit. There's this weird looking orange thing, you gotta use the tools at your disposal to get it splatted. It controls terribly with an analog stick, it was clearly meant for a mobile phone, and on the TV, it's just the worst. It's just the worst, and the fruit makes terrifying noises. I hate this. Toy Stunt Bike Tip Top's Trials. I am totally scared of this thing. You know, Diddy Kong never showed up in Mario Kart 8. Looks like this is the reason why. It's just one of those really simple physics-based biking games, also using that very stock gradient that's been around for like ever now. So it's kind of okay, I guess. The best part about this is you can ragdoll yourself off the bike whenever you want. Easily the best part of the whole game. Preventative Strike, a shooter with a really bad frame rate where things are coming at you from every single angle with like no way to properly take them down yourself, meaning it is a losing battle every single time, and the game is so loud, oh my god, I can't hear anything. Crypt of the Serpent King, a pretty good idea, I will admit. Randomly generated dungeons where you gather keys and take down enemies, pretty cool stuff, but hey, don't get too surprised here when I say this, it controls really poorly. Also by default it's stupid dark, oh my goodness, I get it, atmosphere and whatnot, but you can barely see what's going on. There you go, now that the brightness is up I can finally see what I'm doing. Oh. Goodbye then. Okay, it took long enough, but I finally have all the keys to level 1. What is behind the magical locked door? Oh, look at that. A guy. Rest in pieces. The Bullet, Time of Revenge. Just this massive, ridiculous cluster of a third-person shooter that uses stock assets from the Unity engine, an asset flip, as it's called. That is pretty damn shameless, if you ask me. Pizza Parking, a park the car simulator. I guess not the worst thing in the world, all things considered, it controls decently. And there's also multiple vehicles, so the variety is definitely there. Is that what I think it is? You put in the Final Fantasy jingle. I don't know if that's legal. And the culmination of all of my travels came with one hell of a grand finale. And I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but sometimes you can't help it. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Pooplers. I am not coming out of this the same man as I was when I went into it, am I? Listen, let's be honest here. If this comes across your screen when you're searching for games to buy, you gotta have some form of curiosity here, no matter how morbid it may be. Let's see how they try to sell the game here. There is a trailer to check out. Rated M, blood, crude humor, and violence. What? The listing says E10, but the trailer says M. How did that happen? Okay, yeah, now I have to play it. Oh yeah, absolutely. First things first, we gotta keep the fart volume at max. I am here for the full Pooplers experience. Don't you forget it. Oh, finally! Baby customization. Exactly what I wanted to see. A Make Games Great Again hat. Oh my fight of gods. You know, I guess I'll give the developers credit. There are a lot of options on hand and a few different arenas to play in. That's kind of cool. They really wanted to give this game a lot of replay value. Sorry, I couldn't say that with a straight face. I can't wait to, I guess, see what this game is like. This is taking a shockingly long amount of time to load, though. You know, I know some Switch games have some loading issues, but I figured this would at the very least. Oh no. Okay, so the objective is much like Splatoon. Keep pooping your own color around the floor, and whichever one of you has the most amount of poop coverage wins. It is exactly like Splatoon. Now you may think it's an issue that all of this poop comes in different colors. Yes. One word of advice though, you gotta avoid the mother, absolutely. She is not too happy about what's going on. Oh no, not about all the poop, that's fine. It's the babies being out of their crib, don't be foolish. That is the thing we gotta stop.
Stop it.
I guess if the babies are in their crib, then they can't poop, right? That's how babies work? Oh yeah, and when you grab the meat, you do double size poops. I mean, I guess that makes sense. After what feels like an eternity, my baby, as expected, reigns supreme. Wouldn't have had it any other way. I am the champion of Pooplers. Just another word of advice, don't look into the mouth of the baby for too long. It's a portal to an alternate universe. Pooplers. And people say there's no more original ideas in the world of gaming. Alright, I did it. I talked about a whole slew of bad games in one video for the internet. I finally did the thing. I finally did the YouTuber gamer thing. Do I get a prize? I'm sorry, I see you're starting a new game of Pooplers. I am gonna beg you to not do that. I am gonna cry. Alright, I'm gonna say it once again. The Nintendo Switch, it's a pretty awesome console. I know, it's a major hot take. Try and stop me from saying such hot takes. You won't. Last year, I did something that realistically no sane person should do. I ventured onto the Switch's eShop and started scrolling down the seemingly endless list of games you could find in the quote, great deals section, and oh man. The year may be different, but the mentality remains the same. I love exploring the Switch's eShop, truly I do. Mostly because of the amount of fantastic indie games and hidden gems. It's kinda ridiculous. Baba Is You, Death's Door, Unsighted. It is realistically possible to spend hours upon hours going over how many awesome indie games are on the scene nowadays. But nah, let me spend $10 on Calculator instead. Oh, why am I like this? There's a certain level of garbage gaming that I can't help but be attracted to, you know? It's like a car crash that you can't avert your eyes from, except said car crash is playable, but not in a fun way like Burnout. Listen, all I'm saying is, over the last year, I've had like a dozen of my friends play Pooplers with me. I'm just saying, I'm that weird guy at parties. So, I am back at it with my shenanigans once again. I got a little over $100 to play with on my account now, and I'm gonna try to dig deep, very, very deep into the trenches to find those games that really make you sit back and ask yourself, why? Why did Nintendo allow this on their store? Why did the game developers think the work that they did was acceptable? Why is the Calculator app being sold for $10? As someone who actually bought the thing, don't be like me, alright? Don't be like AntDude, showing up to your classroom with a Switch to cheat on your math test. Get the hell out of here. So, for the list of games today, I am sticking to basically the same rules as last time. Console exclusivity is so fluid nowadays, but the aim is to remain mostly Switch exclusive, as well as games without proper physical releases. We're staying eShop exclusive as well. A lot of these games also go on random sales all the time, so while I did spend close to $100 for this video, the actual value of the games when you're watching this could be different on any given day, so I could have waited for a Calculator to drop back down to $2 like it has before, but I bought it for the full price instead, so let me deal with my grieving process. And while conducting said research, I had to do a lot of it online. I could do it on the eShop itself, but it goes a lot slower when you're going on the eShop for a long time, so this is what's best. I was told I need to check out a game called Membrane. Never heard of that one before, so I have the Nintendo site up and ready to go. I'm gonna type in Membrane and let's see what that's all about. $250! Bro, what the f- What is happening here? I guess, you know, I guess this is technically legal, but why though? Genius strategy, let's be real. Everyone's out here typically dropping their prices for eShop deals. These guys did the opposite. That's a bold move. Used to be $10, sometimes 1 or 2, and then a random spike all the way to $2.50. Oh my god. Yeah, man, I really hope that reverse sale is working out for you. I'm not buying this. Even for a video, not happening. Maybe next year, when I really lose my mind, go even higher at that point and charge $500 for it. Do it. You won't. Why not? Advice for the developers. Drop the $10 for the calculator app. That way you can calculate your profits. It'll work out for you, trust me. Although, speaking of calculator, I gotta be honest here, for an extra $5, you also have Battle Calculator you can check out, which offers some decent competition. You get some customization options in this one as well, that's kinda cool, but as the title indicates, we have multiplayer. The goal is straightforward, using only single digits and all of the buttons available to you, see who can reach the solution first. That's it. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I think you're better off playing Donkey Kong Jr. Math. And I am the first person to ever say that sentence. Circling back once again to the original calculator though, those who watched the first eShop video already know who's responsible for this. Sabic. The same Sabic that also brought us Piano and Tennis Go from that first episode? Yeah, the same Sabic that also released a guitar app for the Switch where an eShop screenshot is an unedited Windows screenshot? Absolutely, the same guys. This time last year, Sabic was responsible for 34... Well, I really don't want to say games, but 34 pieces of software listed on the eShop. And this year, 46. Oh boy, that's an impressive output. Well, scrolling down this list, Night Vision certainly stuck out to me from afar. You know how like the right Joy-Con has an IR sensor that was like never used after 1-2 switch? Well, for $10 whole, you can be reminded of that technology's existence. This is the face of someone who knows how to spend money right here. But, as some of you may know, Sabic was recently in the limelight for one specific game. Oh god. Popeye's back, I guess. This was easily one of the most random headlines to grace gaming news in the last 10 years or so. Not the fact that Popeye is suddenly getting a new game out of nowhere by a shovelware developer, that kind of makes sense, but actually, this is technically a remake. Popeye originally released on the NES and in arcades in 1982, and you know what? It was pretty decent actually. Simple little single screen game, very of the time, you know. The big kicker though, it was made by Nintendo. So in basically any other instance you could possibly imagine, a remake of an old Nintendo arcade game is something worth celebrating. But in the actual timeline that we got, oh man, this is gross. Alright, so the premise for this one, olive oil is throwing stuff down at you that slowly falls to the sky. Go and touch them. That's the whole game. To be fair, that is what the original game was like too. Clearly gaming peaked at that moment. Ooh, but you gotta watch out for the bad guys wanting to really ruin your day. Go and grab your nearest spinach can. Deal with this power-up animation that you can't skip. Run up to the evildoers. You really didn't feel like balancing your audio that day, I take it. I may not be too caught up on the Popeye lore, but is a vulture looking to kill our protagonist a thing in the comics? Not familiar with that one. There's a witch in here too. I have no idea. I thought it was just this big guy, but apparently there's a witch and an evil floating skull. Okay. Looking back at that original NES game, it does look like that skull and witch and vulture, they are there. I'm just saying, the Popeye lore is very strange. Ooh, and you can't forget about the vulture's voice. That's just a guy. My favorite part of the game is when you knock out Bluto, or Brutus as this game calls him for some reason. Like I said, not caught up. He returns after a short while with a cutscene that is also unskippable. That part's great. Also, sometimes he just kind of like shows up in front of you despite being behind you only a couple seconds ago. He has teleportation powers apparently. The lore really got deep after I fell off. God, this is disgusting. It just goes on forever too. It never ends, and I played it for far too long, which was like 20 minutes. That was 25 minutes too long. I am not one to disparage indie developers for wanting to achieve their dreams. There are so many indie games available on the Switch and every other console out there that I think are worth supporting 100%. I am all about that. But that being said, Sabic? Stop. I don't know if you thought getting the Popeye license somehow was gonna be the thing to make you seem a whole lot more credible in the eyes of the everyday gamer. It didn't. And if you want to know the industry-wide secret to get that job done, just start making good games. I had heard that this Popeye game is also a bit of an asset flip, and while I can neither confirm or deny it at this current point, it really wouldn't surprise me seeing the quality of that game. But, speaking of asset flips, some of you may remember in my original eShop escapade, I briefly mentioned the game The Bullet: Time of Revenge, an obvious asset flip. Essentially, for those who don't know, the Unity engine gives you a bunch of pre-made assets, and rather than actually do something creative with them and learn how game development works, you know, you can just flip it and use the same assets with no changes, charge money for an already created game. And yeah, it's gross. Well, check this out. Hammer 2 Reloaded. This is a totally different game, I promise you. Oh wait, no, I take it back. This one somehow runs worse. Really need that Switch Pro to drop sometime soon so we can get a smooth 60 FPS on this one. Dude, the publisher didn't even change the keyboard notifications to switch buttons. That's like the bare minimum there, come on! Oh, well, what about this one? Max 2 Reloaded. At least we got a new guy now. So this one, to be fair, does come with a hot new feature. You see, to pause the game, you would normally have to press the plus button, but here, you press the X button. That's pretty new and original, I'll give him credit. But then, what happens when you press plus, you might ask? It deactivates the controller. I am gonna lose it. The fact that there are at least three, there could be more, of these games on the eShop and Nintendo has not taken them down yet, let alone allowed them up in the first place, is honestly disgusting. Like, no joke, it's gross. Like I said before, I want nothing more than indie developers to get their time in the spotlight and get paid for their work. But this is not one of those times. I may have bought these with actual money for video purposes, but obviously, I advise you to not do the same. Here we have .Cat Milk. Actually bought this one, despite having a really weird name. In actuality, it is not that terrible of a single screen puzzle platformer. I mean, it won't blow you away, but there was actually some effort put into this one. I respect it. You didn't choose the most photogenic cat in the world as the game's cover photo, I'll admit, but I mean, it got me to click on the page in the first place, so mission accomplished, I suppose. Ham Puzz. You know what? This one's actually alright. Another little puzzle game that incorporates platforming with a match 3 puzzler. That's a really unique idea, and it actually kept me pretty invested. I just can't help myself with the name Ham Puzz, because that name sounds like it could get me demonetized real quick, and I hope it doesn't. Next up, okay, well, take a look at this one. It looks like one of those really basic motorcycle physics flash games, right? We've all played these in school when we weren't supposed to. I get it. This one in particular is pretty rough around the edges, but you know exactly where you're getting with something like this. Oh, the name. Doi. Of course you want the name of the game. How could I be so stupid to forget about the name? Yeah, sure, no problem. This game is called Mountain Bike Hill Climb Race Real Physics Fun 2D Arcade Speed Drive Dirt Racing Games. Yes, I'm 100% serious. I mean, it's not as eloquent as something like Excite Bike, but it still gets the job done, you know? Usually, I do like to shorten the name of the game, though. I like to go by MBHCRRPF2ASDDRG for short whenever I'm hanging out with buddies. Can't believe I had that memorized. Cow Catcher. You'll never guess what this one's about. Unbelievable, you did it! You bought this game. You pressed the buy button. Seriously. Yeah, that's a good sign. Oh. Oh my. Alright, so, pick your favorite cow, wait for the rope to figure out what it's doing, then deposit said cow in the corral, get a bunch of them in there, and then you achieve your goal. There's even some extra hidden goodies spread throughout the lands as well. Ooh, collect-a-thon. Gotta love the draw distance too. Should've had some of that staple N64 fog to go along with it, you know? Is Cow Catcher garbage? Yes. But that good kind of garbage, you know? At this point, this is gonna be one of those games that I pull up from time to time just to show some of my friends, hey, look at these rope physics. What in God's name is this? But yeah, no matter what level you choose, the goal remains the same: catch a bunch of cows. What piques my curiosity though is the currency you're collecting along the way. There's actually a shop within the main menu that you can go in and buy some extras. There are some wingsuits and accessories for the catcher, and that's all fine and good, but there's also a whole lineup of surprises. You never know what you're gonna get, I guess, right? You buy this weird looking cat, you take a stroll through the office, and yeah, there it is. In reality, most of the time, the games that you find at the bottom of the barrel here They really speak for themselves. Wrestling Empire. Oh man. Alright, listen here. Alright, I'm as big of a fan of WCW, NWO Revenge, and WWF No Mercy on the N64 as everyone else is, and clearly there is a market for a wrestling game that harkens back to those classic titles, but I don't really think this is the one to do it though. If you are unfamiliar with the rules and you're wondering if it's legal to absolutely bludgeon your opponents to a bloody pulp with objects outside the ring, despite it being illegal inside the ring, well, it shouldn't be, but hey, it's here, so exciting times all around. You never know what's gonna happen in the world of wrestling. Hey, everyone knows that decision was bogus. How are you not dead? Strike Daz cans. Now, right off the bat, some advice for you Switch gamers out there. Make sure the game you're interested in actually works in docked mode before clicking the purchase button. Boy, did I ever have egg on my face. Can't get past the title screen otherwise unless you're in handheld mode. Well, boy, do I ever look foolish. And I hate looking foolish on the internet. I say as someone who just played Cowcatcher on the Nintendo Switch. You see them cans? Strike them. That's the game. And somehow, doesn't control all that great either. It's the one thing they had to do and they couldn't get it done. The Dear God. Well, you know, it's clever wordplay based on the phrase that you would say to represent anger, so that should lead to good things. The story begins with a hunter ready to shoot down his first deer. But then a wolf kills him. Shame. And then, a deer god turns the hunter into a deer so he can live the life of the animal he tried to kill. This was a whole lot to digest in like 60 seconds. So then it's just like a really basic platformer where I guess things are trying to kill you and you're able to kill things back. I thought there was a moral message here about don't hunt animals, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Ooh, I found myself upon some mystic ruins as well. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know, I couldn't really play much of this one. I made it as far as the Snowland, where I met my grim fate. But then the god resurrected me again, but this time as like I don't know, a snow mongoose or something, and then I got soft locked into this pit and couldn't jump out of it. Oh, dear God. Now, I think it goes without saying, but most of these games here wouldn't be award-winning in any of the genres that they're in. However, this following title is a bit of an exception. Introducing the worst Metacritic score of the year 2020, Tiny Racer. Alright, let's be fair here. The worst video game of 2020? That's pretty harsh, let's be honest. Still a bad racer though. I mean, this whole Micro Machines idea has been around for a very long time. Making your car small in realistic environments is nothing special anymore. But trying to make decent level design should be. There's just a bunch of building block assets slapped on top of each other, and that constitutes a racetrack apparently. Like, not even the computer racers have any idea what they're doing here. How am I supposed to know what to do? Once again, nothing but respect for indie devs out there, but how does someone look at this and think it's ready to go and worth actual money? Also, yeah, there's no music. Got absolutely nothing to get the blood pumping here for a fast-paced racing adventure. Mostly just have my blood boiling with how simple it clearly is to get something up on the Switch's eShop. So realistically, this game probably won the worst Metacritic score of 2020 because critics aren't going to talk about a lot of the other stuff that the Switch just somehow manages to release on a daily and weekly basis. As of this current point, when this video goes out, Popeye is unreviewed by the critics. Bunch of cowards you are. But you knew I had to save the worst for last, didn't you? Why yes, graphic design is my passion. How could you tell? This is Elva, the Eco Dragon, out here to teach kids around the world the power of protecting the environment. I am all for that idea. Great stuff. We gotta get the kids to learn about that. But in execution though, I don't really think this is the right way to do it. So your goal as an Eco Dragon is to pick up trash randomly thrown about the level. That's the whole game. Some of the trash mysteriously floats up into the sky when you collect it, some of which requires you to bring it to the trash. Oh, but which trash can, might you ask? Just try all three of them and hope that one of them takes it. It's annoying, and you can't pick up any other trash until the animation at the existing trash can stops because, man, you really want to pick up trash, but not too much trash, you know? And you just keep doing that until the game says you're done. Oh my god, what on earth is this abomination? You probably noticed by now there's this little girl character on screen at all times. Yeah, I'm not sure why either. Man, what is this user interface? This can't be real, this is a fever dream. For being a game all about the environment, there is certainly a whole lot of litter cluttering the screen. Am I right? Let me just go ahead and plant some of these trees in the concrete real quick. Perfect. Dude, I keep getting the same power-up every single time I get another piece of trash. What's going on? I have no idea how to activate these power-ups. I pressed every button, and I'm surprised the game hasn't crashed yet. Elva the Eco Dragon certainly has nothing on Spyro, I will tell you that much right now. When it comes to the dragon one-on-one face-off, yeah, I think Spyro's gonna win that one. And he flames sheep. Oh. Looks like I found the alleyway to the underworld. Good. Well, I kept on playing the game until I unlocked the random crazy mode. I noticed that was locked from the start, had to see what that was all about. With a name like that, I couldn't help my morbid curiosity. Oh, okay, we're in. That was weird. I saw like another level for a second. Okay, it's frozen again. Okay, another level. I'm not editing this. Okay, I'm not editing this footage. This is actually happening. Oh, it's just loading levels constantly. This doesn't seem. Oh, all right. You know what? Maybe benefit of the doubt. Maybe that was just a bad run. Let me try again. Oh man, no, it did it again. It loaded up. It's just okay. The whole random crazy thing means it's just gonna keep loading levels. I'm actually able to play the game now. That's so... What? Just sometimes the game will run and sometimes it'll... Okay, yep, like that. Oh, I thought it was frozen. No, it's still... Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, it's just doing this! I can't control it! Oh, it didn't crash, but it's frozen now. Random crazy mode. I guess the mode didn't lie. What a load of bullshit. The Wii U and 3DS combo was such a special generation for Nintendo. Sure, sales-wise, they both fell short of their previous iterations. I almost forgot the 3DS only sold like half of the original DS. That's crazy. I thought it did way better, but nope. And some of their business decisions at the time, not so great either. Remember the Nintendo Creator Program? I try not to. But the amount of quality software on both, especially first party, was top-notch, for the most part. I think we've all come to accept that. The menus had so much charm to them, amiibo were popping off like crazy. Remember that one guy who like hate bought every single Rosalina amiibo just for a funny little post online? What the hell was that all about? The directs during this time were just oozing with, they were oozing with something, alright. Some illegal substance, I'm sure. The Switch is undoubtedly more successful in every single way, but if you were a Nintendo fan from 2011 to 2016, you certainly have a lot to tell your therapist, I'm sure. The charm of this era of Nintendo isn't some crazy hot take, you know, we've all come to accept it. Especially with the eShops now closed. Dude, that nostalgia cycle is in full effect. People are finding their childhood 3DSs in their closet, they're playing a bunch of classics as well as finding hidden gems, always a fan of that. But then the resale market, that too, oh god, these prices. At least I have you. I'll never let you go. Until you're like $10,000 on eBay, then yeah, then you're gone. Going through the eShops one final time for both the 3DS and Wii U really brought back some nostalgic memories. I used to frequent these shops so much while these consoles were active. I mean, they both had actual theme songs for the shopping experience. I couldn't help myself. It's a lot more welcoming than... Hooray, capitalism, yahoo, let's go. The 3DS was such a haven for indies and virtual console games, I never wanted to miss anything when they were dropping. Every single game had a unique banner with some screenshots, sometimes a trailer if you were lucky, and hey, maybe you'd find a classic gem that you missed out on from generations gone by. Like this one here, Lufia the Legend Returns. Let's see here, every game has 3 screenshots to try and sell the game. Let's see what we got here. She's alright, she just inhaled too much smoke. Oh, finally, the perfect game for me. Plus, it's thanks to this console that I got to watch Dinosaur Office, and that was pretty peak, let's be real. Dinosaur Office! Brah! The Wii U, by comparison, obviously had a much smaller library, but I would argue that this eShop was a lot more fun to explore, and made it all that much better whenever something good did show up. Listen, okay, in no universe is Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars a super exciting release, but there was nothing else around it at the time, and hey, look at that. It has graphics, I'll buy it, sure. There was also this one time for E3 where Nintendo released a bunch of demos for indie games that were released at the time. Like, no big deal in retrospect, but this is how I first played Freedom Planet all those years ago, so I'll always be nostalgic for that. That was a pretty cool program. I'm pretty sure that a lot less heavy hitter proper Wii U games is what pushed Nintendo to keep doing the Virtual Console on that system for a little while longer, but hey man, seeing GBA, DS, and even Wii games on there was pretty damn cool. Dude, they got Pocky and Rocky with Becky on this? Dude, man, us Wii U fans were really starving, okay? Man, remember how, like, you could search for 3DS games on the Wii U eShop but not purchase them? What the hell was this company doing? Remember how stupid Wii Sports Club was handled? Sure, nowadays with a physical copy, it is very easy to get a full complete game out of this, and when you do, you got a somewhat decent HD remaster of the original Wii Sports. It's fine. Whatever. It's a dumb call after Wii Sports Resort expanded on that idea greatly, and it was actually a great minigame collection instead of just a bare bones 5 minigame sport pack, but hey, whatever, it is what it is, I'm not mad about it. Club included online play. Not like you'd really know about it because who was playing Wii Sports Club in the 2010s online, but hey, it was there. The thing is though, when the game first dropped, there was no physical edition and only 2 of the sports were available digitally and individually. They would cost you about $10 each for a single pass that you can access the game whenever you want going forward, but you could also like rent the game for a day for $2. Huh? It really took a disgusting amount of time for Nintendo to figure out this whole digital distribution thing, and it's a shame that a Wii Sports sequel was essentially sacrificed along the way. Good to know Nintendo has since learned their lesson and wouldn't do anything stupid like this again. Oh, damn it. Now I could sit here and do the whole, these are the hidden gems that you should have picked up when you had the chance. I could have done that whole thing, but you've seen that a bunch by now. I'm not gonna do that. If you know me at all, you know that I am way more interested in the games that Nintendo even dared to allow on their eShops in the first place, because, oh man. Listen, first and foremost, not to belittle the difficulties of game development. I'm not trying to make that whole thing seem like a big old joke, and if any developers out there are watching this, I'm sorry to put you on blast, but you know some of this, you kind of did it to yourself. Besides, it's not like I'm affecting sales anyway. Yell at Nintendo for closing the eShops, not me. I'm not affecting nothing. You can't buy these games now anyway. And also, let's continue to be real. These games aren't really gone if you try hard enough. Listen, it's surprisingly easy to mod a Nintendo 3DS, that's all I'm saying. The act of supporting games that are readily available by purchasing them is something I am totally in favor of. I was doing it all the time, I continue to do so. It's my favorite way to support the developers putting out games that I want to play. But that being said, PDI Check was $100. What the f? Oh, come on, that's not even the right console. PDI Check, in collaboration with the Alaska Children's Eye and Strabismus. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Strabismus. This is the title screen. Okay, I thought like the graphics were still loading here, but nope, this is it. Start. Click the one that's different, I guess. Success, okay. What? Okay, maybe I just have to do a different challenge. Okay, the test wins. I genuinely can't tell what the difference is here. Try again. What am I supposed to do? Which color is different? You know what? I think Alaska wins. I'm not gonna succeed Alaska's test, I'm sorry. Eventually, I just had to keep clicking on random things so I could succeed on all of the tests and see what's happening at the end. And hey, look at that, nothing. $100? I'm not saying that video game software can't double as a genuine tool. I am a big fan of Brain Age, and the DS in general had loads of software like this, so as a tool meant for a doctor's office to provide something for multiple children to use, $100 theoretically is more than a reasonable price. But why is this on the 3DS eShop for personal use? None of you out there bought it. Unless you have a weird morbid curiosity and $100 to spare, you did not buy this, and if you did, you are lying. I don't trust you. My guy, over there at PDI Check, you have a website. This could have been handled with basic HTML. Maybe you should have tried again when you had the chance. This is a sin. The 3DS was this odd stretch of time where industry analysts, who always know what they're talking about, kept claiming that the rise of mobile gaming was going to be killing the entire dedicated handheld gaming space. And I mean, over 10 years on, they weren't entirely wrong, but still, for the few years that Nintendo tried proving them wrong with their top-tier retail games, they certainly put out some questionable digital ones at the same time. I got it. I got the perfect solution to fix declining sales. Nintendo says, filled with excitement and joy. Kersploosh!
It's called Kersploosh.
Kersploosh. In Kersploosh, you are a rock and you fall down a hole. That's it. Oh, sorry, you're not always a rock. Sometimes you're a bouncy ball. Sometimes you're a Matryoshka doll. Sometimes you're a water drop. Don't be the water drop. They all play slightly differently, with different handling and health amounts, and it's all about getting to the bottom of the well as fast as you can. And it's a completely dreadful experience. It is so hard to see where you're going, and then they start throwing in these fake donuts made of metal while encouraging you to go through the real donuts. Just pray to God you actually don't bounce off of them. Did they pick donuts because they were just so quirky and funny? Haha, it's so quirky and original. 20 minutes later and I did all the stupid stages and I'm done. Cool. This got a spot in a Nintendo Direct. Man, times were different. Thankfully though, unlike PDI Check, that one was pretty cheap, so whatever, I guess. But for the most part, any of the cheap games that you found on the eShop really felt like a lot of low quality garbage that you would see on phones nowadays. Azure Snake. It's Snake. You know, in case you want to bring your 3DS into math class instead of your TI-82 calculator. Angry Bunnies, a terrible Angry Birds clone on a console that already has Angry Birds on it, but if you were someone that just really liked the concept of Angry Birds and just couldn't stand birds and wanted to throw around mammals instead, and you preferred awful controls, you know what, maybe this game is for you. But if that is you, I deeply apologize. There was even a more expensive version on the Wii U if you were feeling especially feisty with your wallet that day. It's the same game, but it looks better. Cool. Oh, and hey, speaking of birds, Bird Mania 3D, one of those endless flyer and get as many points as possible type of games. You know what this is like. One of those you play the game for 60 milliseconds and you've experienced the entire thing kind of games, you know? It's one of those, but there is a story. Birds are flying south for the winter, and Mojo, your name is Mojo by the way, overslept, doy, idiot. And now you have to catch up with everybody on your way to Africa because that's what birds do. All right, Mojo, let's go. He's dead now. Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess the game is fine, but it's just missing a theme. Like, I just wish there was some sort of cohesive theme that tied everything together that made me feel jolly. Like, maybe if it was Christmas themed. Oh my God. Dude, let's go! Birds are flying south for the, annual vacation to Africa this time. Okay, I can go with that. I guess the whole flying south for the winter thing, if we're already on December 25th here, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's the same game, just now there's snow. I love video games. I know it's crazy. I can't believe Nintendo would allow this game on the same eShop they had Mario Clock and Calculator on. What are the odds of that? Probably the most disappointing proper Nintendo release on the eShop is Chibi-Robo Photo Finder, and trust me, it brings me no pleasure to say this. In this adventure, Chibi-Robo is working with a museum curator to collect a bunch of nostalgia-junk, relics from the past. And since you can time travel, I guess, it's up to you to get the job done. What transpires then is a game all about throwing a bunch of shapes your way, and you gotta take pictures of items in the real world that fit in those outlines. And just pray to God the shoddy 3DS camera actually picks it up. If it was just that, this would be simply another pointless photo app right alongside Photos with Mario. Remember this thing? Of course you don't. There are actual mini-games though. Here's a shooting one, guess how long this ruler is, and I mean, hey, it's functional, but the time in between these minigames is just so long and damn tedious, and anytime you just run around, it makes me sad that this little robot never got the love that he deserved. Honestly, I'ma say it, Photo Finder is worse than Ziplash. It's not like either of them are good, but at least Ziplash is its own thing. Photo Finder shows the potential of this franchise on a handheld. It's in 3D for crying out loud, but it's just a 3DS gimmick showcase, and it doesn't even do a good job of that. And like I said, now I'm sad. I'm gonna go play some more 3D Classics Urban Champion to cheer myself up. I guess this one really shouldn't count since Garfield Kart did get a retail release. It's not eShop exclusive, but I think I would be a little bit too embarrassed to allow this game into my house, so I'm going digital with this one. Here we are. So it's a Mario Kart clone, obviously. Can it really be as bad as everyone says it? Yeah. Yes it is. So for one, no multiplayer. Because why would you want that? This game is too good for more than one person to handle at a time. Look at how excited Garfield is. This ain't Monday in his world. Oh, it's like a Friday in this world. Look at that smile. That's me. That's me excited to play this game right now. I want to die. Wow. It's truly remarkable how boring this game is. All of these tracks are just so barren and lifeless. Oh, Okay then. I'm not proud to admit that I played this game for more than a half hour, but hey, I needed a reason to reconsider my life choices anyway, so this helped with that. The items are incredibly unbalanced too. Like, Mario Kart has this formula down, so much so that you don't really even think about it. If you're behind, you have a stronger chance of getting better items to help even the score. Yes, it does add random chance into the equation, and it's not all skill-based, but it is for the best, because again, even playing field. If the game is just you holding the acceleration until you get to the end, that's not better. And why is this Garfield anyway? Why, of all franchise, the fat lasagna cat? Oh wow, it's a funny orange cat that hates Mondays and loves lasagna? Put him in a car. And why did they make a second one? Yeah, okay, yeah, Garfield Kart, really bad. What a surprise. Something new, please. Escape from Forest. Oh man. They couldn't even get the current score and max score counters to sync up. I am so tired. So in this one, you're automatically running forward and it's up to you to avoid the things, but what things are safe and which aren't, I don't know. I feel like I'm just running into these trees all the time, but I'm totally okay. God, next. Fat dragons. We out here body shaming dragons now? It's just balloon fight but with dragons. Okay, is the idea that you're so fat that you crush your enemies from the sheer weight being thrust onto their shoulders? I guess that's the case. The magic hammer. Immediately, I'm already kind of impressed. I mean, the game has a functional user interface. At this point, I'm stunned. Create your character. Yeah, that's me. Okay, speak to the village elder. Sure, I can do that. You know, right off the bat, it is quick to assume that this is some sort of Minecraft clone, but no. You ever play Dragon Quest Builders? It's more like that. A bit of an action-adventure game that just so happens to take place in a blocky world. It's been 10 seconds, and I'm already lost. I don't know where this stupid elder is. All these villagers just want to trade items. No one's telling me anything. There's no magic hammer in sight, so for one, I am very thrown off. Which one of you stupid blocky idiots is the elder? Oh god, okay, you, finally, I got lost. This whole village is like 2 square feet and I got lost, but okay, hello. Oh god, okay, finally, with the magic hammer in tow. Okay, now what? I am sad to report that I am back to not having a single idea of what to do. Guess I'll go brave the wilderness. Oh no, enemies, back off evil fiends and face my hammer. Huh, alright, that wasn't too bad. What is Crimson MacGuffin? Oh god. Okay. You know, I suddenly have this major urge to play Minecraft. I just really want to play Minecraft on the Nintendo 3DS, but all I have is this crappy old 3DS. It doesn't run on here. As for the new 3DS, I don't want to play this stupid thing. I want to play this stupid thing. If only there was some way we can meet in the middle here. Well, do I ever have the game for you. Am I finally going insane? Oh, this ain't your granddad's Cube Creator, it's Cube Creator 3D. Oh god, why? Of course there's a Minecraft clone on this stupid console. It would be weirder if this didn't exist. You know, Minecraft did release on the 3DS, but it was that stupid, pesky new 3DS exclusive. There's only like 4 of these games, and you would only know about them because they put their stupid spine on the wrong side of the stupid case. What are us poor, stupid, original 3DS users gonna use? This, clearly, it's not, God! You know what, I really have no idea how they did this, but this is one of the worst feeling first-person games of all time. And it's here in the palm of my hands. It's all just so loose and floaty, and for the mining and or crafting, sure, whatever, you don't need to be precise, but combat? They want me to do combat with this? Oh, ha! Okay. The worlds are incredibly tiny, the interface is clunky as all hell, you only get the very bare basics of blocks to work with here. Like, this is truly what happens when you ask your parents for Minecraft and they go, oh, we have Minecraft at home. This is Cube Creator 3D, Minecraft at home. Bit Dungeon Plus. This is the loudest title music of all time. The more times you play, the more ruins you will be able to unlock. Why is this the ugliest formatting of an 8-bit text of all time? You see, now this one is one of those randomly generated dungeon crawlers. You run into a room, you clear it out, you get the key, you move on until you die. There's just not really much more to it than that. There's like a bit of a choice regarding what stats get upgraded sometimes, but you're just mindlessly slashing at enemies and hoping for the best. I feel like there's something here, but everything about this one just seems off. Something you could sink your teeth into, not for the deepest experience of the world, of course, but something for good bite-sized fun. There's something about this that I'm just not digging, and then it turns out that the game actually released on basically every other console, and it looks way better. Like, it runs smoother, the pixels are a lot cleaner, the interface doesn't look like the bare minimum to pass your college game programming class. Dare I say, this game is kind of worth checking out on literally anything else. This 3DS version is terrible and you should feel bad for releasing it. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. And now everybody, time for the 3DS main event. It's time for Kutar. Holy shit, they got Kutar in this? After an extensive 20-second research session to come to find out that Kutar exists in Japan, and that's all the information I got. I can't tell if he's popular or not, but with 10 whole games on the 3DS eShop, oh man, he was certainly trying to be. Kutar Tube Rider. Okay, Kutar Magic Ball. Kutar Powder Factory. Oh, okay, yeah, this one is kinda like a game. What the f is Kutar? Man, all 10 of these games are like exactly the same. It's one Mario Party minigame stretched incredibly thin, you will eventually fail, and then Kutar goes, and that's it. What the hell is this? Kutar Quiz, at the very least, I had some high hopes for, like, okay, cool, a race to answer trivia. Got it, I can work with this, but it's not that. This guy asks you the same few questions in rotation over and over again, with the answer always being the same. Bank, Fuji, left, bank, Fuji, bank. Sometimes they hit you with the headphones, and then... I don't understand! I say we take Kutar and throw him into an open volcano. The 3DS is an incredible console, one of the best libraries of all time, and if you throw the original DS on top of that, like, it's unparalleled. It is a fantastic system with a bunch of classics from top to bottom. Which is all the more upsetting that they allowed so much crap onto this eShop because, oh my god. The Wii U, though, on the other hand, on this thing? Oh man, oh boy, you guys have no idea. One of the benefits of the 3DS's eShop is that naturally, because of the portable nature of the console as well as the two-screen setup, a bulk of those games are genuinely exclusive and are now lost to the ether. Most of those experiences you cannot get anywhere else. On the flip side, luckily on the Wii U, a lot of those heavy hitters are on other consoles. Sure, some of the features may be different, but for a bulk of those games, you can play them on anything else, and that's good. Realistically, the biggest losses here boil down to like Affordable Space Adventures, Pushmo World, and Dr. Luigi. Dear God, I will never forget about Dr. Luigi and all he did for the medical world. And for a game like Meme Run, being able to slip through the cracks like that, God. The thing is though, it's not even like this game was only recently lost, it's been delisted since 2015 due to unlicensed use of the troll face, which A, is very appropriate given what this game is trying to be, and B, a funny way to learn that the troll face actually has a copyright attached to it. Great times all around, truly one of the games of all time. And yes, I know there's a sequel, and no, I'm not gonna play it. Another pretty iconic one during this era was The Letter, aka, shut up Jimmy, we have Slender Man at home. And yep, it's bad alright. That 1 out of 10 review on Nintendo Life, they knew exactly what they were talking about. With how infamous this game was, I did expect it to be a little more offensive, but it's more so just indicative that Nintendo really had no checks and balances to what made it onto their shop during this time. You run around a dark area with a crummy flashlight, everything has a bad, blurry PS1 texture on it. The story is nonsensical, I'm not even convinced that there is one even though there's words here. But hey, to the game's credit, there are letters, so points for at least not lying to us with the marketing. There is in fact a letter in this game, multiple even. But while The Letter was the most notorious game on this eShop, it's just such a terrible FPS from top to bottom, you're not wrong, but it's not the worst one. And I'm tired of pretending like it is. Suspension Railroad Simulator. In this game, you're in charge of a suspension train station, and as the person in command, you can get into the cockpit of the vehicle and get it to go? I think, maybe? I'll be honest, I have pressed every single button available to me, I have touched every single pixel of the gamepad touchscreen, and I can't get this thing to move to save my life. I can wander around outside the storage room, you know, I can walk into the car, and I can even swoop the camera outside. And you get me riled up, I can even go, ugh. but I cannot at all get this thing to actually move, which I would assume there's a game behind this, but I can't get to it. There's something about like needing to make sure people get into the car, but no matter what I do, I just can't do it. And when I look outside, I see the same 3 people over and over again. I think I'm just going insane, so I'm just gonna move on. Next up, we got Joe's Diner. Ooh, it's kind of a spooky game. Get ready. You're not prepared for the frights that are ahead. In the middle of nowhere, there's a diner that was built on top of a cemetery. There's some more stuff to it, but quite frankly, it's a lot of exposition. Like it is a lot of text and then a shockingly long loading screen, and I can't be bothered. I'm gonna be totally real with you. But hey, look at that. We're in the diner now. Essentially, the goal of the game is to clean up the diner before too long, as well as not making too much noise to disturb the old chieftain. That's it. And your eyes do not deceive you, this game does indeed run at frames per second. And oh man, those spooky old ghosts, let me tell you, they're up to no good. Out of nowhere, phones are gonna go off, the coffee maker's gonna go off, the TV's gonna turn on, it's haunted, and I'm about to pee my pants, I'm so damn scared. But like, you can only hold one thing at a time, and it didn't do a good job telling me where to put the thing, so I'm just walking around an abandoned diner holding a plate of food that was eaten 20 hours ago, and I don't know what's happening. There's noises all over the place. I'm not scared, I'm just annoyed. But oh, if you don't clean the diner before the end of your shift, you, die? I think? Okay, now hold on. This one has some potential now. Chasing Dead. Oh, this looks like an actual game. It's not original, it's like Walking Dead, but now they're chasing you. Ooh. You guys alright back there? Do you need an ibuprofen? The adventure begins in a plane in mid-crash, and yep, we got zombies. It's a good thing we got this flashlight too. I can barely tell what's going on. Maybe it's just me here, but I kind of feel like shooting a gun inside of a plane that's currently careening at max speed into the ground. It's probably not gonna help matters. That's just me. I've never been in this situation, so I wouldn't know, but that seems like a safe thought. That being said though, I've never been to Other Earth, so maybe the rules don't apply there, I don't know. Oh hey, and I'm dead. Good. These controls are just so damn sluggish. It's a basic twin stick thing. You would think that they would know what they're doing, but it just feels so bad. The buttons all do exactly what you expect them to, but the sluggish analog stick movement and the choppy frame rate, it's nearly impossible to achieve anything here. But eventually, through enough persistence, I got far enough for a new health bar to show up. What's this all about? Oh my god. Oh my god. Invisible zombie. What? Alright, come here, you invisible bastard. Oh, wait, now he's here and he has a gun? Okay. Dude, what? Every time he becomes invisible after enough bullets, like, he just kills you in 5 seconds, and you have no time to dodge anything. This sucks. But you know what? I don't know why, but I did see something. There had to be something at the end of this terrible journey, something in level 2 that was gonna be enticing. I had to push forward, and sure enough, it took like a half hour, but I did it. Level 2, now this one here. You know, outside of the no skybox thing, I got some hope. First things first, an immediate leap of faith. And there's a zombie helicopter. This can't be good. Yep, I don't think this follows protocol. Okay. Out of all the games I played here, quite honestly, Chasing Dead is the worst of the lot, but I gotta give a special shout out to the first Skunk Bundle, which includes multiple pieces of garbage. This is very ambitious. The kicker is, it's also of multiple genres. That's crazy. You got another first-person horror game with incredible audio overload and a guy that's just standing there minding his own business. I think he's supposed to be the bad guy, but oh, hello there. Oh, actual feces. Excellent. So yeah, it's no surprise to anyone, but this is bad too. I have zero idea what to do in this one. But once again, we got multiple games here. This same bundle also includes Basic Ass Snake, a platformer with the world record in slowest jump speed of all time, a garbage bomb explosion mobile game that looks like it's trying to be Angry Birds, but I totally missed the memo. And okay, but listen here, okay? The thing that ties everything together, like truly, like you would think, okay, bad games, whatever, that there's no redeeming this one, but you're wrong. On your bingo card, if you had the main menu theme being a piano rendition of Good Riddance by Green Day, then oh man. Oh, I'm having the time of my life, alright, I assure you that. This has been one of the times of all time. Also, relax, the first Skunk Bundle, there is no second Skunk Bundle here. You got way too ahead of yourself now. You were thinking, oh, I can be like Pokemon, the first movie. I know there's gonna be a sequel. Nah, you're more like Doug's first movie. You're the Doug's first movie of video games. Congratulations. Like the other games in that bundle though, it should really be no surprise that other tiny shovelware games were slipping through the cracks at all times. Here's Daikon Set, a trio of games that are functional, and they have graphics. That's all I can give it. Emoji Kara, they kind of give you 2 words and you gotta find the 2 emoji that are those 2 words. This cost money. Ava and Avior save the earth.
Let's recycle and save the earth.
Okay, let's do that. Hey kids, you ever wanted to learn the difference between compost and recycling with 2 creepy flying children staring at you the whole time to make sure you don't screw up? No? Well, clearly you hate the environment. This is the only way. And dude, like, they start to throw in hazardous materials to sift through on a moving train as well. This is getting a little bit too much for a kid here. Take this toxic ooze. Don't put it in the recycling. That's a big no-no. I can't handle this. Let me look at all the pets I unlocked instead. The environment was a mistake. Interesting little fun fact, there's no game of Tetris on the Wii U. That's kind of weird. There was Puyo Puyo Tetris on the Wii U only in Japan, so not localized, but if you want your Tetris fix, don't worry, got you covered. Here's Heptrix. It's Tetris but bad. There was Percy's Predicament, which is just a mediocre high school project adaptation of Monkey Ball, but you know what, credit where it's due. The name Percy's Predicament is incredibly hilarious, so look at this guy. For being in a predicament, he's pretty f***ing happy about it. Love me stupid buddies, stupid Wonderland. This looks like a Flash game from the early 2000s. What do you mean? You see, you may be thinking to yourself now, oh, it's a preschool game for little children. That's totally fine, right? No, absolutely not. You just keep touching the animal it wants you to ad nauseum. That's it. That's the whole thing. What do you expect a kid to get out of this? All right, that animal was a bust. What about the next one? Oh wow, crazy! It's the same thing! I got a good feeling about the Dracula bat here. All right, now come on, Dracula bat, don't let me down. Ooh, it's a matching game now. Oh, the brain juices are starting to flow now! Also found this one where you have to like move the iceberg for the animal to just get to the other side, and it controls terribly because it's based on tilting the Wii remote, and I'm so tired. Oh, dude, the stone cutter. Holy shit, the stone cutter. I don't know how this released. It's a series of text boxes with lifeless narration, and that's it. And you think, oh, it's a visual novel, then sure, we can at least get some good artwork out of this. No, it's a series of PNGs with the occasional piece of clip art over it. I'm stunned. It's a story about like a guy who wants to cut stones or something. I don't know. He goes out, he finds a rock, and then proceeds to cut it. I think, you know, even with picking some of the options that led to the wrong endings, this game took 5 minutes to get through. Oh, you thought I was gonna say hours? No, 5 minutes. Listen, man, like I said earlier, game development is tough. I understand. I sympathize with anyone trying to live their dream and get a video game out there for the masses to play. But this, if you sent this to Nintendo servers and they accepted it, oh man, it is proof that life is cruel and we would all be better off going to tend the fields until we die. Obviously, when you're looking at the good games on the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, you're gonna have a grand old time. But on both of these consoles, it really calls into question whether or not the games like the ones mentioned today even deserve to be preserved, despite the eShops being closed, and you know what? Yeah, you know what, I believe they do. Yes, of course, you are likely more willing to pop on a classic like Pocket Card Jockey, or experiment with something new like Rusty's Real Deal Baseball before opting to pop on f***ing Garfield Kart again. But like many other things in life, it is hard to appreciate the good in games without playing some bad ones too. And for that, these games do fulfill a purpose. Even if they're absolute trash and should not have existed. And you know what, since all of these games have been preserved in some way, shape, or form, it'll always be interesting to go back and see what a company with the pedigree of Nintendo did allow for sale on their consoles, and how differently a wide range of people wanted to go about beginning or continuing their game development journey. Besides, It's not like the Nintendo Switch is much better. Believe it or not, most, if not every video game console that ever existed has more bad games than good games. That's just the reality of it. So for the sake of game preservation and accessibility, it is important that those games are there and you have a way to access them if you so choose. I'm not saying you should choose to play the letter in the current year, because you definitely have unresolved problems if you do, but it's important that they're there. And besides, like, if these games weren't readily accessible, I wouldn't be able to make this YouTube video, so there's one positive, aspect of this, depending on who you ask. The Wii U also got Now I Know My ABCs, also by Skunk Software, and all it is the alphabet song, and then you draw out the letters. That's it. Look at this dog. This dog is deceased. Thank God for video game preservation. Despite what the well-known phrase would have you believe, there are actually 3 constants in life. There's death, there's taxes, and then there's an overload of adult games on the Switch's eShop every single week. Oh my God, it's gotten bad. I love the Nintendo Switch, you love the Nintendo Switch, we all love the Nintendo Switch. But you see, therein lies the problem. Too many people love the Switch. Nintendo Switch has games. Yeah, but does it though? Some of these developers should be exiled to an abandoned island. You'd have thought that I would have learned by now, but nope. Years and years later, exploring the eShop remains to be one of my favorite things to do on the Switch because, man, you never know what to expect. Like, I see Super Mario RPG here and like, oh, that's super cool. Let's see what else has come out recently. Oh, what the hell is your future to future prediction? I gotta know. Oh, of course, it's a visual novel that skimps on both the visual part and the novel part. Because yes, this released on the American eShop and the only language is Japanese. Why? Why are you like this? So, against my better judgment, I decided, why not? Let's continue this journey on looking at the absolute worst things I could find on the Nintendo Switch eShop. I found 50, that's right, 50 of the worst games you could find on this eShop, and even worse than that, I spent money on them. Now these aren't the absolute worst games you can find on the eShop, because quite frankly, there's a lot of shovelware on there. I could look at AAA Clock 50 times and that would be it, but no, I wanted some variety. 50 bad games are still 50 bad games. Give me some slack. I went through a lot. And you're gonna want to stay tuned to the end because, oh man, we're going places. Just a heads up though, this is not going to be counting the large chunk of really low-hanging fruit that is flooding the eShop nowadays. Games re-releasing with a brand new banner on the top every single week to highlight some stupid bundle. Cloud games, because those are just dumb. I don't need to say more that they're just dumb. Typically, if you see the word simulator in the title, it's a red flag right out of the gate. Plus, there's this new influx of using AI art to advertise your game, which, holy shit. That's gross. Just be grateful, please. I still played 50 garbage games for your entertainment. Variety is the spice of life, and damn it, I want this video to be spicy. Not like it won't be immediately outdated anyway. A few days before this video went live, we got the Monty Mole collection. Not to be confused with Mario's Monty Mole, because that guy is a lot more distinguished. It's a bunch of old Commodore games, like it's cool for game preservation, sure, but man, these games are rough. And then, oh boy, a few days after this video goes live, we get Milk Cellar, which, Jesus Christ! By the way, did you know that Monty on the Run has an absolute banger of a theme song? I take it back, I'm buying Monty Mole Collection immediately. Listen, I know game development is hard. It takes years of blood, sweat, tears, a lot of money. Like, I totally understand and I sympathize with that. Because even if your game is good, there's no guarantee it's a success. But if you're putting a game out there titled, I wasn't about to remember this, mountain bike, hill climb, race reel, physics fun, 2D arcade, speed drive, dirt racing games, and you expect it to make you some money? Man, you gotta stop. So many games released with abnormally long titles, like what are you trying to accomplish here? Nianzo action game, risk your life to get your dinner back. What do you mean? Alright, let's see. Gotta pick my icon first, of course. Gotta decide which incredibly low quality PNG suits me at this very moment. I'm definitely thinking low poly cow. Alright, let's see what this game's all about. Okay, so in this game, you can reach speeds no mortal should. Holding right doesn't simply move you, but just you keep accelerating, you just hold the button and you just keep on moving until... Okay. Alright, you rock bastard, you're going down. Okay, maybe not. I genuinely don't think they expected anybody to play this game for more than 3 minutes and get to this boss because, like, it's just standing there, and this music is, like, really epic, but I don't I don't know how to attack it. I don't know what to do. Hit him from the back, hit him from the front. He just stands there menacingly. I don't know what to do. Guess I'll just try to break the all-time speed record instead. I will do whatever I need to get my dinner back, baby. The Great Battle of Shark, Monkey, Squirrel, Dinosaur, 2 S's, Bird Bee. I wonder if that would fit on the side of a Switch box. Probably not, I don't know. A long time ago, before the last days of this planet, when all the humans left Earth and this solar system, an event happened. Oh shit. Not an event. Turns out a crazy virus broke out and random objects have been given life. In this era, the planet is now dominated by the 5 rulers. Twin cells, a seaplane, a grand piano, a pickup truck, a drone, and a stove. That's 6. That's 6 things, not 5, but okay. Yep. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, of course, it's a bad 2D platformer with bad physics and controls, and then it suddenly transforms into a freefall section out of nowhere because, you get it, flying squirrel, showing that the devs didn't realize that flying squirrels and normal squirrels are actually 2 different things, but don't worry. Collect the melons, damn it. Oh, and there we go, there's the shark part. You know, it's not like these games have no effort put into them, but like when you have a title like Shark, Monkey, Squirrel, Dinosaur, Dinosaur, Bird Bee, what do you think was gonna happen? I don't know, it's still at least better than the string of blatant asset flips that we've covered before. The Bullet, Time of Revenge, Max 2, Reloaded, Hammer 2, Reloaded. They are legitimately the same exact game with the most minor of differences here or there, like this one character model's different. Ooh, that's worth the whatever money they asked for. Dude, they didn't even change the keyboard button prompts in this one. Like, come on now, how are these still available for purchase? I don't understand. Why even try in life, you know? Hell, Angry Bunnies is an incredibly obvious low-effort ripoff as well, but at least that was free. It's when you have a game like Splat the Fruit here that cost $15 that I start to reconsider my life choices. I can't believe I spent money on this. I just wanted to talk about it again so I can justify that purchase because, oh my god, that was stupid of me. Honestly, despite looking at Bullet years ago, I never actually looked at who's responsible for this atrocity. Turns out the publisher is Pix Arts. I hate them. Oh, this lineup. Oh man, this lineup. You know, I get it, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but I'm gonna be judging all these by their covers because, man, you can tell these guys just did not care whatsoever. I don't know, man, what if you just shut up and give Gorilla Big Adventure a shot? It gets pretty good 20 hours in. Wait, hold on, the Golf Royale, is this legal? That's just the dude from Zootopia. Well, of course I had to give it a shot. Oh man, I wanna die. That's not even the same Zootopia guy. I've been swindled. Use touchscreen. Yeah, sure enough, the game does not work while the Switch is docked. This is a portable only experience. Thank God, because I wouldn't want anybody to walk in and see this on my TV anyway. Keep this in mind, okay? Submitting games for official release is a process. They don't just happen, okay? That means someone took this software, sent it off to Nintendo, and there is somebody paid by that company to go, yeah. Pix Arts also released Dinos and Ghosts, a terrible Pac-Man clone, perhaps. It kind of looks like an ugly Pac-Man. Let me just read this overwhelming amount of instructions real quick and, oh no. Oh no, this ain't Pac-Man. Okay, so I lied. I didn't actually read all those instructions. That was quite frankly, that was a lot of text. So from what I can ascertain here, you kind of crush anything that you want, but certain things don't give you points, like the green dinos. You gotta aim for the ghosts instead, which are X dinos, I think, because sometimes the dinos change color, and maybe these weird ball dishes have something to do with it. I don't know, I'm just fighting back the vomit real quick because I keep hitting a solid surface like an idiot and the camera goes absolutely crazy. F you, Dino. Oh, and also, on the topic of undocked only games, Amazing Mage. Why? Why must you make it difficult for me to capture footage of you? Alright, I'll set the stupid camera up, okay. Hey, wow, a terrible Zelda clone. Cool. Ah, damn it, I died. Alright, let's go back to Golf Royale. I should actually give that game a shot. Yeah, I regret that. This happened last time with Strike Daz Cans 2. Nothing about these games need to be handheld only. Why did you do this? I hope you lose money on these projects, okay? Sorry, that was mean. I didn't mean it. I kinda meant it. But oh, thank God, Crazy Bus works in TV mode. Yay. Is the sound working for this? The game is dead quiet. Oh Jesus, this seems like a pretty brain dead game to me. Grab a bunch of guys, drop them off in their appropriately colored circle. Fine, okay, I can do that. I'm ready for the actual game now. Oh God, oh my God, this frame rate. What do you mean? Oh no, now the cops are after me. No worries, let me just, excellent. Now the cops are dead. Crazy Bus just rots of that mobile game-like stink. It's all about accumulating points so you can upgrade your setup to make the next run less painful, despite doing literally the same exact thing over again. Grab these bunches of multicolored guys, bring them to their appropriately colored stop over and over and over and over and over again, oh my God. And no, the map doesn't change. I'm 10 levels in and we're driving on the same map every single time with these random NPCs trying to get in on the multicolored people pickup action, and I won't stand for it. Maybe this whole changing your car's paint color thing to avoid the cops is like a real way to get away from them if they're chasing you. I wouldn't know, I haven't tested it. Maybe this is just a bad lesson, I don't know. And you dare, the absolute gall of you, to besmirch the name of Crazy Bus, the all-time classic? How dare you? That's a cow. There he is. Is this gonna get me demonetized? Whoa, whoa, oh, let's go, baby. Press and hold the A button to milk. Get to the end in one piece, and also be sure to hit the random guys with milk for extra points. I'm definitely getting demonetized. I guess in the world of auto runners, there are certainly worse, and I do appreciate just how stupid this is, but yeah, it's a bit rough. Plus, every time you get a speed up power, the screen starts to shrink and it's making me sick. No thank you, this is rotten milk. But I understand, sometimes making it really tough to control your jumps ends up being the main selling point of your platformer. I mean, look at Bouncy Bob here, where you have to commit to each jump like it's a 30-year house mortgage. Wipe that stupid grin off your face, Bob, you prick. We already talked about Angry Bunnies once in this video. We can't have 2 games with Angry Bunnies in it. That's past the quota, it's unnecessary. But I hear ya, y'all wanna know if Bouncy Bob is better than Joe Jump. Yeah, actually, Joe Jump gave me an aneurysm. This is one of the most BS auto runners I have ever played. Things are popping up and falling down out of nowhere. It's impossible to properly plan your jumps. Your axes are unreliable as all hell. Why do I have to hit things? Why do I have to throw axes with an arc that can barely hit things? I hate this. This one stage took me over 100 lives to get through. I want Joe Jump to jump into an active volcano. And I feel kind of bad. You know, initially I was confusing this game with Jumping Joe. No relation. You see, this game is actually a pretty decent high score challenge. Just jump to the left or to the right, that's it. Just how long can you last? It's not that weird that we have a platformer with the words Jump and Joe in the title, but it's definitely weird that it happened twice. Hey, do you remember Croc's World? Talked about this one a few years ago actually, so I've already been sitting on this one for quite a while, and you know, nothing new has gone on in this universe. I'm still just mad because that ain't Croc. That's not Croc. I know my Croc. That ain't Croc. This is Croc. Don't you dare say his name. But I bring up an older game that I've already covered to once again talk about Elva, the Eco Dragon. First off, damn, these moves. Bro is killing it right now. But secondly, back on the topic of asset flips, I managed to find this stupid dragon in another completely unrelated game. Don't get it twisted, I haven't 180'd on this abomination all out of nowhere, but still, a development is a development. Clearly there aren't that many uses of Elva out there in finished products, but I was browsing Steam one day and confirmed. Elva is shameless and will literally take any acting role that comes its way. Disgusting. But you know what? After trashing this game last time, I realized that I never actually checked out the climate change tutorial here in the main menu. Seems like it would be hilarious. And if it's not, I still want to know. I want to learn. You mean to tell me I went 2 years without realizing there was also a whole ass adult dragon in this game? That can shoot water for some reason? You know what? Maybe this game is not all that bad. Nope, yep. Yeah, it is. Hey look, I understand, okay? As a YouTuber, there are sometimes these things that I say and it can get people a little bit upset. I apologize for that, but hey, if you want to settle our scores in a different way, may I suggest Madness Brutal Fighting? We can 1v1, it'll be very clean. I won't cheat, I promise, look at it. Oh. Oh man. Yeah dude, graphic design was totally my passion, how could you tell? Really putting the Elva the Eco Dragon menu on notice, I tell you that. Man, all of these fighters are just like staring into the camera with the same exact expression. Except for Hanzo. He's too cool for that. He's got a pose. I appreciate that. Come on now, who doesn't love Hanzo? He's the only fighter in this entire game who can afford a gray square for his avatar. This dude's clearly got money and he knows how to use it. I especially dig the whole no shadows in this lighting engine thing here. It really distracts you from the fact that basically every single fighter plays exactly the same. You might think though, oh, what about the specials? Surely these characters have those. I have no idea what that did, but at least the game does support local co-op. I got lost in these instructions. What am I supposed to do with the Joy-Cons? Detach them, put them away, and then grab another pair despite also supporting the Pro controller? Why'd you animate this? All right, this is where you lose me, madness, brutal fighting. This lack of quality control will not stand. I only play games of the highest quality here, like Vroom in the Night Sky. Is here a camel there? I've never seen here. Tut. Damn. This fairy girl's talking something deep right now. Oh, wow. Okay, this is a lot to take in. I don't know what to comment on first. Who invited Splatoon to this? This is one of those instances where I found an eShop listing that blew my mind at just how absurd it was. It gave my morbid curiosity some really nasty flare-ups. 2 people, rather than playing alone, more than playing together. Yes. If you want a good time, I'm telling you, every single sentence on this page, it's both hilarious and also giving me a headache at the same time. Pinball at a high place? Golf? Roll the big ball? Sometimes you can hit your friends to save them. We are looking for brave men who can clear all stages. Ha! Sorry ladies, no girls allowed. Have more fun tomorrow. Okay, now you see, that line is great. I want that on a t-shirt. So, of course, I had to see what this game was about, even if it was $30. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, man, what is this? Oh, why would someone do this? It's okay. We still got the boulder dodging game and avoiding the sharks in the boat. And then there's rolling the big ball. That part of the description was true. Oh, I guess the problem is I'm playing this game solo, you know? Clearly it's meant for multiple people, as we've already gone over. 2 people rather than playing alone after all. But I feel like if I ever subject more people to this, I'm gonna go from 2 people to alone real quick. How much time is left in the video? Oh, God. Another publisher that I've highlighted in the past, for all the wrong reasons, is Sebek Limited. I hate Sebek Limited. Maybe you would be thinking to yourself that the fine folks over there that brought us Piano featuring songs such as Old MacDonald Had a Fram, the ever-exhilarating Tennis Go, the guitar app with a Windows screenshot in the eShop listing, stupid Night Vision, Popeye, would provide us nothing more than greater hits. It's been a few years, you know, clearly there's development time here that's going on to something grand and extravagant. Well, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to Bingo. You know, the hot retirement home game where you just sit there for 3 hours and wait for all of your numbers to be called? Yeah, all of your numbers. Not a straight line of numbers, no. Literally your entire card. Those are the rules now. I'm sorry, Sebek makes the rules here. And it took forever. It took so long. I sat there for what felt like 30 minutes. They kept calling numbers and not a single character on this screen was getting numbers. I was losing my mind, but finally, I did it. I've officially won bingo. I think I'm going to pass out. I hate this company so much, man. They're just out here releasing 7 lines of code on a weekly basis and calling it software throughout the entirety of the Switch's life cycle, and they're just gonna get away with it, scot-free. Life is unfair, but obviously, it's not just them. There is so much low-effort garbage on this eShop, dude. We have Calculator, a calculator with multiplayer. There's the other bingo, not to be confused with Sebek's bingo. No, never would do that. AAA Clock, we're all familiar with AAA Clock. Holy sh**. It's AAA Clock, damn it! It shows up like every week on the eShop. I have to see what all the hubbub is about. And it's just a clock with a ton of different skins as paid DLC. Brother, the Switch has a clock built into it. Hell, at least with Clock Simulator that I've also covered in the past, it's still dumb, but at least you got multiple timing-based minigames in there. That kind of makes it worth it. Okay, you know what? That's not doing AAA Clock justice. There is a minigame in here. And it's terrible. But hey, maybe the sequel, AAA Clock 2, because I found out this exists, will provide more of that time-telling goodness as well as a brand new minigame. And hey, look at that, it does! This time it's like a Mega Man kind of thing. I think I've had more fun just watching a grandfather clock that's broken. And actually, now that we're on the topic of numbers, here is Snake of Math's cool education game. Gotta do the math real quick in your head so you can move on to the correct number and keep on going. And then how far you can go, gotta get the highest points possible. And it gets faster and faster too. It's pretty intense, so be careful. Get all of your math problems right, or you die. Listen, Sabek, let's all admit that society has peaked with the Popeye punch sound effect, and we can move on with our lives. Waifu Impact. Oh no. All right, I'm taking a big risk here. Gotta be very selective about what I show, because I feel like I'm already testing the limits of what's gonna get me demonetized or not. So, in this highly acclaimed title, you run around as a generic woman 3D model with an outline, and with your water gun in hand, you completely obliterate any other woman out there because they lack outlines, I guess, on your quest to, I don't know, just touch all the glowy spots on the map, I think. I think that's the entire game. Everything the light touches is your kingdom. Okay, wait, no. Okay, I got it. All right, here's a line. Here's a line for you they can take out of this video. Oh, wow. I can't believe Waifu Impact looks and runs better than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There you go. There's your meme. Have fun. I'm not oblivious to the fact that there are clearly a lot of degenerate games available for the Nintendo Switch. Just check out the recent releases section on the eShop. There's gonna be something there. But like, they're just all so bad. Like, why? You gotta give the degenerates some quality. It doesn't make any sense. They're the ones that need the most help. But if you like these types of games, then hey, more power to you. I'm happy for you. Or I sympathize with you. I don't know. It's just a matter of how you're feeling that day, I guess. At least you're not as bad as Nintendo Switch eShop game, The Last Hope, a Last of Us clone that was so blatant of a ripoff that Sony themselves got the game delisted. Oh man, to be a fly on the wall of these completely legal and corporate meetings that these companies are having between Nintendo and Sony, like, okay, one's making Mario, the other's making Spider-Man, these really huge games, oh, they're gonna sell millions, and they gotta sit there and discuss the validity of The Last Hope and Waifu Impact. Video games are so stupid, I love them. Oh yes. Would you believe me if I told you that I've actually never played a single Souls game? Nothing against them, I've just never gotten around to it. But hey, there's one available for the Switch, right? Maybe my chance will finally come one day. And that's not today, we're playing Soulsland instead. Oh, did I win? Alright, fine, let me go after him. Yep, okay, definitely won. I mean, this is how a Souls game works, right? With your weapon of choice, you walk towards this fantasy-filled environment, towards enemies holding random weapons, and just mash and dodge your way to victory. This seems pretty accurate. Not gonna lie though, it is actually kinda tough. I'm getting my ass kicked out here. Oh, wait, did they all decide to give up? Oh. Goodbye then. There's not even like a structure here. It's a title screen of a list of every single level in the game, no unlockables. Go through the level, beat the same boss at the end of every single level to unlock the portal to the end, unlock, once again, nothing, and just pick another level if you feel like it. Have fun. Oh, you know, you can do what I did and just bypass the barrier and finish the stage without beating the boss too. That's fine. Oh no. We really said this was a completed stage, didn't we? But hey, credit where it's due. I spent like 20 minutes trying to break this one level because man, it just seemed like this biggest stage. I was able to get out to the barrier and I wanted to just break it. I wanted to just climb as high as I could, but man, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Kudos to you, developer. I couldn't break your game. Now, considering I haven't played another Souls game, I guess I can just go around saying now that this is my favorite one in the genre. I might keep it that way because I feel like that's just gonna piss off Souls fans in the funniest way possible. I don't know, bro, you really should get around to playing Elden Ring. It's super good. I don't know, is it like Soulsland? Ski Sniper, oh boy. You see that guy trying to go skiing? You gotta snipe him. It's like Duck Hunt, but with people, how fun. I don't know what's worse, okay? Like the entire concept of this game, or the fact that it doesn't matter if you blast this guy out of the air. The next guy goes down for a ski too, just to test his chances. Don't ever let anybody tell you that AntDude does nothing but play cartoony platformers. Let's keep it edgy over here, you know? 3D at Van Time. Looks like this could fit the bill. Maybe. So we got a first-person shooter with a time-bending gun. Okay, like a little puzzle game like Portal. Okay, I like Portal. Let's see how this goes. Our first quest is to get these 3 keys to unlock this door. Easy peasy. Pretty linear game here to get to the keys, but some of the puzzles actually got me a bit stumped. I'm surprised. So if this is the tutorial, I can't wait to see the rest of the game. All right, I got all 3 keys. Now it's time to unlock the door. Hey, look at that, a winged car. That's kind of cool. Let's get in, fly off to the actual start of the game. What? Okay, I don't know, maybe the game glitched. Let me click continue here. Back at the door, get into the car, fly into space. That was the whole game. It was 5 minutes long to complete, and it cost me $10. $2 a minute? No thank you. I know enough math to know that that is absolutely disgusting. And what the hell does Advan Time mean? And you know what's really messed up? Advan Time is a lot shorter than the Mysterious Adventures of Michael. That game is way longer. You all know about Michael, right? You ever used to get really desperate in a computer class back in school, so you would try to sneak in some gaming from a sketchy website and you would play it because that's all you had access to? Well, yeah, that's the Mysterious Adventures of Michael, but this one costs money. As you can tell, it's a 2D platformer. That's the best thing I can say. The controls are floaty beyond all belief, but damn it, you can move left and you can move right and you have a jump button. This is a platformer, and you can't tell me otherwise. And less than 30 minutes later, it's over. So yeah, about 3 times as long as Advan Time was. Good morning, Michael. Daddy, I just had a very fun dream. Did you? Let me hear about your dream next time. All right. And Michael's dad was never seen again. Believe it or not, just because your game is pixel-based doesn't mean you're allowed to make your game really annoying because people always talk about how rough some old games are. That's not how this works. Speaking of, Superola and the Lost Burgers. The world is being taken over by meat. Go get burgers, I guess. And wow, it's bad. Bro, what year is it? What? This is such a fever dream, man. Like, the shop is a ripoff of Wonder Boy. We got this Sonic-looking ring when you finish a stage. One of the hot dog bosses was a game of rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock, which I found out is a real thing. And this level of pure insanity would be great if the game was fun. And it's in this video, so of course, it's not. It sounds like a great selling point to have the most unhinged platforming experience the world has ever seen where you play as this thing, but to put it simply, it just controls so poorly and it's littered with far too many beginner's traps. It's not fun. It could be charming, but instead, it's just bad. I hope Superola never gets his burgers and gets old Yellered behind a shed. Of all the pixel games that I've had the pleasure and or displeasure of playing during all of these struggles, 2 stand out above the rest as, holy shit, what were you doing? That bird, bear, squirrel, dinosaur thing from before gets close, but no, even worse than that. First off, Dear God, which is an appropriate title because those are also the words I said while playing this. So get this, okay, you're a hunter, right? You get killed by a wolf, and that hunter meets the Dear God. And now you're a baby deer, okay. Ooh, is this a story all about teaching people the wrongdoings of hunting innocent animals in the wild? No! One of the first things I did was kill some wiggly thing here, and then I moved on. I have learned 0 lessons. So in typical fashion, you move from left to right, okay. I kill another hunter, okay, cool. And then I just keep moving right. I just keep on, I just keep on moving. That's it, I think? It's hard to really gather exactly what's going on here. Like, there's some platforming, there's some puzzles, there's some story elements, but like nothing melds together and makes sense. I just continue to go right because video game logic dictates I do so, and that's all I'm working with. Eventually, I met a shockingly gruesome death. Met the Dear God once again, and now I'm an otter? What? And now I'm stuck. I think I soft locked the game because I can't jump out of this. Great. Oh dear God. Valentina, oh yeah, here we go. Off to a really great start choosing a font that doesn't have all the characters you want to use. Excellent. I fear of something might happen with the kingdom and the fool Joao. What's we gonna do, Valentina? I know that I ran from the castle, but I need to save my parents. He have that madness that will impress me, becoming a great knight. I had these lines written down and I knew exactly what I had to say, and it was still a struggle to say those sentences in one straight run. I guess the gameplay is almost Zelda 2-esque, side-scrolling action RPG with safe towns and enemy-filled exploration. But man, what a surprise, it's really bad. The controls are terrible and delayed, the art style can't decide how big pixels should be, the enemies are mindless attack sponges, there are leaps of faith and random mazes all over the place. The only thing that is kind of a saving grace is the script, because man, the absolute state of it. It's It's like a dictionary was thrown into a garbage disposal. The kingdom of Grelfrorist are being attacked, and our rulers was took. The Prince Valiant is too coward for take some action, so someone have to put a end in this monsters. Dude, I'm telling you once again, that was so hard to say, and the amount of squiggly lines that my script threw at me when I wrote the exact quote down, oh my god. Oh man, there he is. All I'm saying here is that I think we're giving Vroom in the Night Sky way too much flack here. Like, yes, it is bad, and also features insane dialogue, but surprisingly enough, it is a lot more competent than a lot of the trash that we have now. We really had no idea just how good we had it back in 2017. Because say what you will for the launch window games of the Nintendo Switch, Vroom in the Night Sky is infinitely funnier than Breath of the Wild. Leave a comment with the word tut if you agree. Alright, now this next one? This one kind of broke me, I'm not gonna lie. Some of these games just really push the limits of what's even legal on this eShop, right? Like, am I crazy in that? We have the Zootopia Fox, that's already a whole big can of worms. We still have Pizza Parking available on the eShop, which has the Final Fantasy Victory jingle. I don't really think Square Enix gave that one the okay. But then, here we have a skateboarding with Maxwell the Cat, and that's Ugandan Knuckles. And the eShop just says Knuckles the Echidna. What are we doing? Skateboard drifting with Maxwell Cat. Over the years, I've come to appreciate Maxwell. Look at him. Looks like a good old boy. He's got his own game. Cool. Here's some footage of a terrible skateboarding game that I'm going to continue to talk over because yes, it's just straight up playing running in the 90s. And if I don't keep talking, the video is definitely getting taken down for sure, dude. I'm pretty sure there's only one level in this game, but every time a different song will play and it's totally random because the next time it was playing this rap song that samples Toxic by Britney Spears and I just like, I can't, how did this game not get delisted immediately? Sadly, I couldn't get around to playing as Knuckles. I just couldn't unlock him. To do so, I would have had to keep grinding out this one stage for points over and over and over again, and quite frankly, I am one away from doing a kickflip out of a window from the tallest building I could find. Maybe if there was multiplayer, it would have been just the right amount of stupid with friends on a random weekend, but I couldn't figure out how to do that. I gotta just sit here playing the game by myself like a damn hooligan. That's just the Grand Theft Auto jingle. I can't. I feel like I'm having an anxiety attack. The game did also get a release on the PS4, so hey, you Sony heads can play it if you want to, but I don't think I can put myself through this on a second console. I think I'm okay. Plus, the Switch one is called Skateboard Drifting with Maxwell Cat, the Game Simulator, while the PS4 one is Skateboard Drifting Simulator with Maxwell Cat, the Game. I don't know what these names mean, and once again, the word simulator, red flag, abort, abort. Oh, dude, hell yeah. Okay, on the topic of legal shenanigans, oh my god, dude, Shark. Dude, it's Shark. Okay, on the surface, or I guess under the surface because it's underwater. Haha. This is just a mediocre arcade game where you're a small fish, you eat smaller fish, you become bigger fish, and then you can eat bigger fish. We've all played games like this before. It's not good, but it's relatively harmless. But dude, oh man, this game shouldn't even exist because man, I got a story for you. Shark, of all games, was once believed to not even be possible on Nintendo Switch, because actually it was once a highly anticipated title for a different console, the Intellivision Amico. Oh boy, okay, history lesson. This guy here, Tommy Tallarico, well-known liar and scam artist and sometimes made video game music, acquired the rights to the Intellivision name back in 2018 with the hopes of reinvigorating the brand in a grand way with a brand new console, with its focus set towards family fun, something that, I guess, no other consoles are providing, but okay. The console featured a controller with the screen on it, something that, you know, has historically worked before. The physical games were NFC cards that unlocked a digital game and not actual physical media, plus the games were apparently NFTs, something that they never really elaborated on, but okay, that was a selling point, I guess. But the real crux of all of it was its content was going to be exclusive. Maybe a game from somewhere else was going to show up on it, but it would still have content that you can only get on Amico. This whole thing is honestly a giant rabbit hole. The console is never coming out. They have a failed mobile app. They can't afford to actually make the console anymore. It's just a mess. And there's content out there that explains things far better than I ever could. But the bottom line here is it didn't matter how low quality all of the games looked, some of which were confirmed to be garbage flash games from websites that have existed for years. Tommy T over here really fought to defend the claim that these games simply cannot work on any other console because of the extra screen, and any other Amico features are integral to the game's very existence. So yeah, Shark is available on the Switch now, and I feel disgusting for having supported it. A few other Amico games are available too, which is both hilarious and sad, but it's just nice that these play a very minor role in a pretty giant story in the entire video game industry. There's historical value to Shark Shark on Nintendo Switch, damn it. Oh man, that was therapeutic. Okay, what's next? Drawn to Life 2, oh man. Oh no, this one just makes me sad. I really liked the original Drawn to Life games, man. This gives me no pleasure to talk about. If you've never played Drawn to Life before, it was a series of incredibly simplistic platformers on the DS with one game on the Wii, where the selling point was the player's ability to draw in many of the game's elements, and even your character. And this was part of the overall franchise's plot. And that even includes a SpongeBob crossover of all things. It's perfect. It's crazy how Sonic was playable in these games, man. I wonder if that's legal too. Gameplay-wise, they're not amazing. Once again, they are very simplistic platformers, but they were really charming and have accumulated a pretty niche fan base. With the last game releasing in 2009, it was a great surprise to see it return back in 2020. And they screwed it up! First things first, the art studio, it's as good as you can expect. It's got plenty of features that are very similar to the original games, but it's a pain to control. An analog stick just doesn't cut it, and there's no touchscreen support to boot. That's nice. I still drew Sonic though. Even gave him a party hat this time. Aw, happy birthday. But the story segments last far too long and offer nothing of substance. The platforming feels incredibly slow, and rather than have it be a standard platformer, it's now a puzzle platformer, with absolutely soulless level designs and mechanics and clashing art styles. Oh, but see, you can place enemies in some of the levels now because hey, it's a game all about your artistic vision. You can make it whatever you want. No. This is not Drawn to Life. These games were always childish, but at least they were somewhat engaging, you know? If Two Realms ended up being the deciding factor as to whether or not this franchise continues, it wasn't worth it, man. Dude, why did they ruin both this and Scribblenauts when they brought the series to the Switch with brand new games? Like, why did we have to ruin both franchise in one swoop? This is more depressing than the original ending for the next chapter on DS. Because yeah, if you know, you know, Jesus Christ. Preventative Strike, it's just a terrible shooter. That's it. Also, there's Hello Kitty Cruisers. That game goes on sale like a bunch, so if you want a really terrible kart racer that only has a few tracks, it plays terribly, and for cheap, then this is the game for you. But once again, that's all I got. Sorry, I felt like we needed a palate cleanser. Oh boy, here we go. Back to Nikki the Home Alone golf ball. Joy. When I first played this game a few years ago, quite frankly, this was one of the most anxiety-inducing experiences of my life. You are a golf ball. You want to get to a party, and with these weird aim and shoot mechanics, this lack of precision was making me lose my damn mind. Just let me out of the stupid just let me out of the stupid pile of hay. I swear I will burn this barn to the ground. Oh, and the voice acting. Mwah. Exquisite.
Last time you came here, it was through the roof. Good luck finding it. You know, the roof. The thing upstairs.
This might be actually one of my most hated games of all time. The only game to get me so angry at how it controls, I was ready to snap my controller in half. People tend to say that when a game is like slightly irritating, but no, I got really close with this one. This is no joke. All just to get to a party I didn't even want to go to begin with, to watch Nikki throw down some sick dance moves. I'm so angry. And you're not supposed to be angry with golf. Golf is supposed to be more soothing. Who wants angry golf? Uh-oh. Dude, this golf ball is f***ing pissed. How many shots will it take you to get to the goal at the end of the stage while avoiding all of these bombs that are just everywhere because they're gonna make you more angry? Grah. Now, I'm just speculating here. This is no definitive claim or anything, but I feel like all of these assets are stolen. I have no basis for any of that, but just look at this. I have a hunch. At least give the text an outline, I'm begging you. I'm not necessarily angry playing Angry Golf. I'm just disappointed. Now I just fell into this weird rabbit hole of finding a few games that just remind me of some terrible games I covered in the past. Like, oh great, cool, the trauma's coming back all at once. If you remember, I once talked about Tiny Racer a few years ago, the lowest rated game on Metacritic from the year 2020. Arguably the worst thing that happened that year. And yeah, it's pretty bad. Just this nonsensical racing game with bad physics and track designs lacking all cohesion. That whole worst rated game on Metacritic thing is mostly just because barely anybody reviewed it, so I guess to the developers out there, take this as a badge of honor, congratulations. Because look, this isn't good at all, but I'll do you one even better. Need for Speed Drink and Drive Simulator. Drink and Drive Simulator? There's that dreaded S word again. Don't we already have GTA for that? It is absolutely insane to me to have this as the title of the game, let alone what the game actually is, because whatever, this has been a thing in some mature games in the past, sure, whatever, it's just a part of a bigger game, but no, it just says Drink and Drive Simulator. I'm waiting for the hot new wrestling game that's called Yes Actually. Please do try this at home. Here's how you can give your little brother a stone cold stunner in the middle of your school playground. That'll be $10, please. In this adventure, you are a driver holding a ton of drinks on your truck, tasked with bringing them to special parties and venues. And luckily, the only thing that's in your way of a good time is a swamp filled with a ton of conveniently placed wood to give you a bit of an obstacle course. How fun. After, no lie, just 10 minutes of driving in roughly a straight line, 2 of those minutes of me being stuck on this bridge, that was fun, you then have to drive back to the original location while under the influence. I guess, cool. Yeah, under these circumstances, the world suddenly turns into more of a fisheye lens and then the draw distance drops dramatically. Perhaps this is more realistic than I gave it credit for, good for them. There's no enemies, there's no cops, all that's stopping you is wood and a time limit. Get to your garage for this party, and then it's time to do it all over again, baby, except now, you can't see in front of you. Don't drink and drive, kids. Stick to Grand Theft Auto where it's safe. I've also previously covered this 3D platforming duology, Woodle Tree Adventures, one of the most fascinating cases in all of my years of garbage eShop game research. The first game is super bad. Very slow and floaty, nothing feels good, nothing looks good, the camera sucks, it's just really bad. So color me incredibly surprised when the sequel turned things into an open world platformer with much faster and more fluid movement, and like, damn, this comeback story is crazy. It's no Mario Odyssey, but you can very obviously still do a whole lot worse if you wanted a lower cost platformer to add to your arsenal. Something more like Ducky Quacky. Look at him. Just look at him. We're already looking worse than the first Woodle game, so that's a great start. Guess we couldn't afford music for this one either. I don't know what I prefer, stock music pulled from a freely accessible library, which is totally fine, or just no music at all. But I gotta tell you, my immersion has been obliterated with this silence. My immersion with Ducky Quacky is gone. You play as the duck. You collect the apples, you do a whole lot of waiting. Just an ungodly amount of waiting, and you just meander your way to the end of the levels. No real challenge, just go. I almost got kind of excited too because look, a shop to buy some accessories. I love when games do that. And I can't afford anything, nor will the game tell me how many apples I actually even have on me. You're tearing me apart, Ducky Quacky. But maybe I'm being too harsh. I'm clearly not the right demographic. Maybe this is successful at being baby's first platformer. Maybe there's a smooth transition from Goo Goo Gaga to Ducky Quacky, and this will now become someone's favorite childhood video game character, and we'll hear stories about it 10, 15, 20 years down the line. Who knows? I would give the edge to Jumpin' Joe, personally. Hey kids, do you like Minecraft? Well good, we're not playing that, we're gonna play Survival, baby. Look at this face. Boy, I can't wait to jump on in and play it. Alright, I've played stuff like this before, gotta start off getting wood. Every single one of these types of games starts exactly the same. You see, one of the things about Minecraft is that it's just too easy to understand how to control. Here, it's different. We control our character independently from this cursor, which is actually used to pick things up. It's like real life, It's not easy. You can't just punch trees and then boom, you have a house. You gotta work towards it and pick up every single log of wood individually in order to build your stock. God, I'm pressing the plus button as much as I possibly can. I need help. Dear God, I need help. No, not dear God, not dear God. Radiation Island. Ooh, this time we got a survival game with a bit more of an adult edge. Let's go. In the middle of the Devil's Sea. Someone starts spitting into the microphone. Oh no, this is awful. All these islands are disappearing. There's a bear. A village. Was that a guy? I couldn't tell. Was that a guy? Even the ship. Oh man, I guess we gotta start working with these tools and get around to living on Radiation Island. Admittedly, it's kinda cool. There's a total structure to this game. There's this book that you have that keeps pushing you towards the direction of progression, so that's nice. Rather than this being a fully Minecraft-styled game where you're full of freedom, there is constantly something that you're working towards in regards to gathering and building. Think more along the lines of Dragon Quest Builders, but way more boring. We have covered a lot of video games today that right from the offset were doomed to fail. This is one of the few times that It's actually a shame that it isn't better. You do gain more freedom the further you go, it certainly has a little bit of variety to it. Radiation Island is definitely ambitious, but with how low quality everything looks and feels, it just feels unfinished. It started off as a mobile game, and perhaps it works better there, but that doesn't excuse the fact that this should be better. Especially since we already have survival games out there that have a bit more of a realistic edge to it, like Valheim. There's no reason why you should look at this and be like, oh yeah man, this is what I'm gonna do in my day. And it's not even like I disapprove of smaller budget games that are blatantly copying a more successful formula. I'm fine with that. Fill the field as much as you want, as long as you got like a neat idea. You gotta get your foot in the industry somehow. Do whatever you want. Just try to make it decent, that's all I ask. It's this logic that led me to Vaccine Rebirth, a game directly inspired by PS1 era Resident Evil, even down to the vaccine. Ooh, I'm shaking in my boots. Now, aesthetically, it's pretty on point. This whole low poly aesthetic with low pixel count, love it. The tank controls are replicated really well here too. So combined with the low poly aesthetic, you would think, oh, this is a really cool replacement for classic Resident Evil, but sadly, the gameplay just doesn't really work. It's a roguelike. Didn't see that one coming. Your partner is terribly sick. Explore this area and find a vaccine within 30 minutes. Once you leave that front door, your run is now going to be completely different than the run you just had before. Enemies, items, where the vaccine is, it's all random. There's also no voice acting. If your character ever does speak, it's...
What the hell is that?
Microsoft Samantha, is that you? Makes me almost nostalgic for Nikki the Home Alone golf ball.
Oh, I remember. Nikki,
Just kidding, I'd rather die. But truly, I'm not going into this with negative intentions. I want to give the game a fair shake. About as much of a shake as my boy here is shaking in his bed. Oh my goodness, he is very sick. Please take care of my child. I'm checking out all the nooks and crannies of this facility, constantly getting new weapons and items, and remembering where I've been so I can get back to my partner in peace once I get the vaccine. The combat, not good. It never feels like you're actually hitting anything here. There is no good response to any of that. That's a big problem. But you know what? That's fine. I found the vaccine in no time flat. My partner's gonna be A-okay. Oh. What's up there, big boy? You wanna be friends? Off. 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 Open the door. Open the door. Jesus Christ! Oh, great. Now I can only walk. No more healing items. Panic levels are rising. Oh, cool. Now the door glitched me right next to him. Excellent and good. Thank you. So naturally, I dived right back in. Next time, it took a lot longer to get the medicine, but hey, I did it and I saved my partner's life. No big deal, easy peasy. Even if I was being chased like the entire time by the tyrant, didn't matter. At least now he can kill both of us at the same time instead of separately, because I just realized there's no other escape from this room. We're gonna die. All in all, it took me 3 runs to figure this game out. 1 run to get the controls, 1 run where the tyrant killed me when I glitched right behind him, that was cool, and then 1 where I was successful. I guess in typical roguelike fashion, you get used to dying a lot of times in hopes of actually beating the game, but it's just that it's the same objective every single time, and with the 30-minute time limit, you're gonna complete your objective in way less time than that. There's a lack of substance here that makes this really hard to recommend, which is a shame because conceptually, it is kinda cool. But you know what? And this is my genuine true feelings here. I might actually play this game again. Am I gonna be okay? Believe it or not, my ultimate stance here when it comes to showing off a lot of these bad games does not have malicious intent. It's just what's available there. I check the eShop regularly. A lot of these developers do it to themselves. While a lot of these games are bad to terrible across a whole wide spectrum, I genuinely think a bunch of these games are now going to be entering my rotation of titles to show off to friends whenever they're around, to just show them how absurd the eShop can be. The amount of times I've shown people the Final Fantasy victory jingle in pizza parking, the punch sound effect from Popeye, still a top tier sound. Random crazy mode from Elva the Eco Dragon. It never works, and that's why it always works. I've actually done plenty of multiplayer games in Fight of Gods, and even stupid Pooplers. I have subjected multiple people to this game, and they're still friends with me, and I don't know how that's the case, but thank you for sticking around. I've even shown people Cowcatcher, okay? Not like the actual game part, like no, yeah, that part is still terrible. Only this unhinged skeleton dancing segment that has nothing to do with the rest of the game. This is easily one of my favorite things on the Switch. And after everything we've gone through today, I can confidently add Forest Crash Party, Madness Brutal Fighting, Vaccine Rebirth, and yes, even stupid Maxwell Cat's Pro Skater to that list. How could I not show this to people? I spent money on these games, okay? I'm gonna get my money's worth. Business-wise, how Nintendo allows any of this stuff on the eShop is beyond me, but man, I'm just happy that they exist. for the most part. I want Nikki the golf ball to burn in hell. Just shows that at the end of the day, video games don't have to be taken all that seriously, and whatever you find enjoyment in with this form of entertainment, I say go for it. But then there's Foot Clinic. I'm gonna vomit. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh god, this is disgusting. Oh Jesus. Oh god, how does that even happen? You just took your shoe off and your foot is filled with shards of glass. Why'd you even put the shoe on in the first place? Yeah, let me just get my jellyfish all riled up and I'll remove it for you. So many of these are like these grotesque and disturbing injuries. Like, oh my god, it's disgusting. And why does everybody want a foot tattoo or toenail paint job when they're done? Some of you had horrific injuries, man. This should be the last of your concerns. Oh, you look bad. Thank you? I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna vomit. That's it, I'm gonna throw up. All right, buddy, your test results are positive. That's great. You're not even the same guy I just checked on. Okay, guess we'll vaccinate you, even though we're a foot doctor. Just gonna spray you down like it's cologne real quick and... work it. So I think my next plan of attack is I'm gonna take my Nintendo Switch and throw it into the nearest volcano that I can find, and then chuck myself in along with it.